Are we live? Happy Handsome Tuesday if we are live, guys. Happy Handsome Tuesday. This 5th of August. I think we are live. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, that's me. That's my voice. Happy Handsome Tuesday. We got a lot of stuff going on. Shoot. We'll probably stream for an hour or two, hopefully. So let's get into it, man. Where am I? There we go. Where's my thing at? Do I want the other one? Let's see. Let's go here. We got my boy Moneyberg first thing in the morning. I'll start off with that. That'll get me riled up. Let's see what he's got going on. We'll watch this a couple times. What happened? Did Moneyberg take the stream down? Yo, happy handsome Tuesday to Jason. What's going on? We got Moneyberg. Black. That is black belt technique right there, guys. That is some black belt technique. Marcelo Garcia. I don't know if Marcelo Garcia could do that. Do that butterfly hook sweep just like that to the back. Looks very professional. Very, very. Man, looks like he's been training for 5 years. Yo, Moneyberg. Hoist Gracie should be ashamed of himself. But you know what? His bank account is better than mine. So according to Moneyberg logic, he's better than me. They got me. I'm not saying they for sure got more money than me. I'm struggling streaming over here in the basement. They got a lot more money than me. I think my jiu-jitsu is at least better than Moneyberg's. I hope. Can we all agree on that? Can I get? It is. I don't be honest. It's not terrible. It's not good, but it's not terrible. That's what I expect from about a 6-month, 4-month white belt. Now, if you told me this dude got a blue belt, I'd be like, are you sure about that? Now you tell me that guy got a black belt. Okay, something's off. But this is the sport we're in. I'm just one dude in the basement. I can't fight these guys off. They got a lot more resources. They got Mikey Musumeci in the bag. They got Hoist Gracie. They had my man Gordon Ryan on there. I mean, Gordon didn't say nothing. And if a competitor was rolling like Moneyberg, he would be like, "You're crap. You're terrible. You should quit." But I didn't hear nothing about that for Moneyberg. So money talks, guys, in this sport. Let's see what some of the comments got to say. But happy handsome Tuesday. For sure Moneyberg gonna get me riled up. For sure. Roy Nelson says no bottom hook. Love the music, the clown music. Another guy says this guy got his black belt in 3.5 years. He truly is a one-of-one athlete, possibly the best to ever put on a rash guard with his face on it. He is the best guy to put a rash guard with his face on. So we can all agree to that. Says normalize supporting lunch ladies doing jiu-jitsu. Oh, hey, let's not attack his looks. We're just attacking his jiu-jitsu. Okay, guys, we're a family show in here. Says, yeah, man, lost all respect for anyone co-signing this. Mikey, where's Mikey Musumeci at? We got a little bit of Mikey on here too. Don't worry, I didn't forget about Mikey. We can't bully Mikey too much, allegedly. Is that bullying if I call people out for stuff they? Okay. Says this move is called the money pit from Butterfly Guard. The best way to complete it is to throw money at your partner and they allow you to. yeah, I don't know what else to say. We've talked about Moneyberg a lot, and he is the worst guy in jiu-jitsu that gets all the attention. I can't name another person that's just that terrible at jiu-jitsu, but we covered them. We got some bad news over here. It says 58-year-old BJJ instructor Claudinho Coib found dead in Gracie Baja Academy. So we're gonna cover this a little bit more. We're gonna read some of the comments real fast, and then we'll go back to this story. Maybe look for some videos of this guy. I don't really know of him, Gracie Baja. I only follow I don't really follow too many Gracie Baja people outside of Homolo Bahal and those guys, Carlos Gracie Jr., Pedro Mourinho. So let me switch over a little bit. There we go. It says someone's asked how. This is sad. My condolences to the team, family, and friends. Great person, sending good thoughts for his family. His son trains as well. Met both at Gracie Baja Curitiba. Claudinho was a good person, an excellent person, professor, and a beloved member of the jiu-jitsu community in his city. My condolences. So we don't know the cause or anything. We're just kind of reading some of the comments. Just be respectful. Alrighty, so. And we did talk about our friend of the channel, Oliver Geddes, passed away, I believe, last week. So they're going to be holding a memorial service in Westminster, London. So my UK people, please go show up and, represent for the channel if you guys are out there. 16th of August, 2 p.m. So that's that next week, I believe. Church House, Westminster, London. And everyone's welcome to register. So if you guys are out there in London, UK, you're traveling, you happen to be in UK, I got actually a student going out to London. Teddy Choi, go to the memorial service for me, bro. So yeah, we'll be good to show up there. We got Ben Askren over here. He's still kicking, bro. He's still kicking. So we'll listen to what Ben Askren's got to say.
Guys, update number 9. Starting to kick some butt on this walker. I did a full lap earlier. That was the first time I did a full lap. So I'm going to try to do a full lap again. Hopefully I see I'm making some progress and getting better even though I'm stuck here in the hospital.
5.
That's progress. I'm gassed. Seems pathetic. One lap of walking can get you there tired. But that was my almost 3rd lap today, so I'm making some good progress. Hope you guys are doing the same with your laps. What's up, guys? Update number 9. Starting to kick.
Shout out to Ben Askren. I will say that he seems to push himself a little too hard. He's got that wrestling mentality, but I just don't think that wrestling mentality is the best. I just don't think it's the best. He just had the surgery, bro. You need to chill out. He need to do 1/3 of what he's doing. He is used to pushing hard, pushing through the pain. But this is not. It's not the same thing. You can't push through the new lungs. The new lungs gonna take years to acclimate. And he might never have the same abilities as he did before. It's not registering yet. We'll read a couple comments and see. Someone says, "Still no shoes. You have motivated me to go to yoga in the morning." Some bad comments on here. Someone said, "Fight like the third monkey on the ark, Noah's Ark, and it started to rain, brother." Keep working, brother. Every time I see your post, I get fired up. Rooting for you, man. You sprinted that lap. Stay strong. Slow and steady wins the race. Happy to see you making progress. Keep up the good work. I will continue to pray for you. So he's getting a lot of great messages here. I'm sure that helps motivate him. That motivates him to push too hard, though. Take your time, Ben. You don't need to do 20 laps around the hospital. I don't think you need to do that. But I am happy to see him walking. He's still got a lot of stuff attached to himself. I don't know what that is. Probably for the fight the infections in his lungs. Is that what was attached to him? These tubes over here. Let me watch that one.
But on this walker, I did a full lap earlier.
Yeah, so he got. I think they got to pump antibiotics throughout his body. So that does kind of suck. I think they're probably going through his lungs. So that does kind of suck. He's got all this equipment attached to himself. But I'm happy that he's walking. He's mobile. He just needs to not push too hard. That ain't true. Wait a second. That's fake. Whew, okay. Woo.
Man, the first one went so good, we gotta do it twice. Let's go. Talk to the people, give us some inspiration.
Guys, what's going on? So listen, we only got one life to live. Make the most of it. When we're out there chasing goals, knocking down our dreams, we only have one option and one option only. So make it happen, make the most of it, get after it. No excuses. Don't be a punk. Wake up, go. Even when you're tired, you go. We don't stop. Let's go.
Alright guys, we're here with the main man. The first one.
Yo, why is today so hype? Today pretty hype. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know we are going to get this hyped up. But yeah, I'm hyped up. Let's go. Killer Tuesday. Let's go. We got, today is Handsome Tuesday. But over here in Jersey at Max, it's Killer Tuesday. But you guys do Handsome Tuesday. I'll do Killer Tuesday. But shout out to JT. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go compete. Who competing with me? Danny Chopper, where you at, bro? Sign up for another tournament. Josiah, go sign up for a tournament. Marley, sign up for a tournament. Yeah, man, just keep going, bro. I mean, shoot, you never know. Just keep going.
I'm gonna explain one variation from the double pull that I like to do. So Professor Bruno has the De La Riva. Now, what he's gonna do? He's gonna throw his right leg across. He's gonna hug the leg, and he's gonna make a grip on the opposite leg. Now he's gonna make a grip on the belt, and he's gonna throw his left leg behind of her leg as a hook. Okay. The next thing he's gonna do, he's gonna start bolo, and he's gonna start hiding his leg behind, doing like an X. Okay. Now he's gonna bring her up, and he's gonna kick and up on the back. Now we're gonna do a couple of times in regular motion so you guys can see the technique.
Nice. Good technique. You got Bruno Frazzato, you got Everton, and this is over there at about to say Alliances at Atos. I have had the chance to go there a couple times, so if you guys are in Alpharetta, it's more East Cobb. If you're in Alpharetta, go to Iron Horse. That's where I go. But you guys can also go to Atos. It's cool. Now in Atlanta, we just push people. Hey, you want to do no-gi? You want to do EBI rules? Go to 10th Planet. You want to do gi competition? Go to Atos. You want the best of both worlds? Go to Iron Horse. You want to go over there? You want to go? Like, people will give you suggestions on where to go. Because honestly, in Atlanta, it's more based off your location and also what you're more interested in. So, if you're into no-gi, I'm not going to tell you to go to Alliance Atlanta because that don't make no sense. They don't like no-gi over there. Got AOJ, inside AOJ. They got music on here. Them kids better than some of you guys. They kind of better than me too. They just got youth and gumbiness. I'm not as Gumby as I used to be. But that's cool to see all these kids into it. I just wonder about the future of these kids. Where are they gonna go? They can't really teach in California no more, really. I mean, who's there in Cali? There's just not that many opportunities. Maybe jiu-jitsu will become professional at that point. I like this bolo entry. Inside spin, yeah. I'm just wondering what's the future for these kids. Maybe jiu-jitsu will be professional by the time they're older, but if they get into wrestling, they can get that college education, NIL possibly, Olympics, coaching in college. So as much as I love jiu-jitsu, dedicated myself to it, I think, if you're that young, you're good at grappling, you probably need to go the wrestling route. At least get yourself, bro, D2, D3, JUCO. You're going to have some options if you go to wrestling. Jiu-jitsu, all right, you got to win worlds, and there's only one person that can win worlds and make some money. Seven different weight classes or something? Yeah. So I wonder about these kids' future. Because all the parents are spending a lot of money for those kids to train there. So as far as the investment, I wonder what they're looking for, maybe not the Brazilian kids, but the American kids. I'm just wondering what the parents, unless the kids have like unlimited resources, like some of those guys, I wonder what the parents are, you spending $300 a month on your kid to do jiu-jitsu, but there's no college, there's no professional route, there's really nothing for them. So we'll see what happens. We got Mr. Boo Monday. He's the father of Kennedy Monday and the Monday clan. So he won the Olympics back in the day, in the 80s or 90s. So he's got a book that says The Gold Standard. Winning Ways with the Mondays. Look at that family, bro. Kenny Monday. I forget what year he won the Olympics. And I believe he's over there at Morgan State as the head coach. Look at him. I like that. We got Canuto. He lost to Tackett. Canuto getting older. Tackett is like a younger version of Canuto, Tackett be running and jumping and flipping just like Canuto used to do, but you can't do that style. There ain't no 30-year-olds flipping upside down. What 30-year-old is flipping upside down while grappling anymore? You don't really see that no more. But he's still around. He's also been doing MMA. I feel like he's all over the place. He's doing PGF. He doing too much. He doing way too much. He's a PGF coach. Just did UFC BJJ. Fought a couple months ago. He's got a school. He's got a wife. His hands are full. So something gonna give. Something gonna give. He says, "This is not my best performance. Neither was it the worst. This was not the first time I failed and will likely not be the last time. I am as human as one can be, and sometimes I have to be reminded of that. I drew closer to the Lord, and the devil came closer than ever, hunting me down. God has brought me here, and he will take me there. Much love to everyone who supports and believes in me. I'll be back so much better from this like I have previously. Every story is unique, and these days will only make the feeling of overcoming it all better." So I mentioned all the stuff he's got going on. Did he fight in the UFC? I believe he did fight in the UFC. Was that UFC? It was not UFC, but he did his MMA debut. He's got a school to run. He's got to deal with his relationship with his wife. He's coaching in PGF. Where's the PGF pictures at, bro? He's coaching in PGF. There he goes, Alabama Twisters. Compare that to Tackett. What does Tackett have to do? All Tackett got to do is train and make sure his hair looks good. Tackett ain't got no wife or kids or school. He good. So, a lot of times the Masters guys, I don't think Hinato's a master yet, but as you get older, you get more responsibilities, and that kind of slows you down more than anything else. I'm not saying those responsibilities are bad, but, they don't help your jiu-jitsu in the competition sense. We got Dante Leon. Hey, I'm getting hyped today. I don't know why. Hey, it must be the music. Hey. Whoa. Dante Leon officially locked in at 77 kg for Team Daisy Fresh. Multiple-time ADCC medalist, Dante has proven himself as one of the most dangerous and most versatile grapplers on the planet, dominating across multiple weight classes. So, Dante's really good. Didn't he beat Mika Galvao? Mika said that didn't count though. So Dante's really good. He's probably the only person that can beat Mika and some of these other guys. So, I think he's definitely like the anchor, one of the anchors for a team. Daisy Fresh. Who's on there? Let's see who else on there. Who's on Daisy Fresh? Right here. Yeah, Hillbilly Hammer. Hillbilly Hammer might take a few people out. What is that one guy? Can anybody remind me of that one guy that beat up Nicholas Mergali? You get Max Hansen doing good, and Brandon something on YouTube. The dude on YouTube. Yeah, I think Dante is the anchor for that team. Yeah, Dante is the anchor. So every team's got an anchor. Like on this team, the anchor is Nicky Rod. Dante is whoever the best guy is. Team Europe. Owen Jones. Maybe Ardilla. I don't know about Team Europe. Team Europe. Good luck, Team Europe. Team America. I'm not sure who the anchor is. I feel like these two teams don't have an anchor. Misfits, Team Americas, and Team Europe, they don't really have an anchor. They don't got no anchor. Let's see. PJ Barch for 10th Planet, I believe is the anchor. New Wave got a couple anchors. I believe Mika. Giancarlo's good too. Oliveira's good. What's that big kid's name? Luke is good. They got a couple anchors, but I think this one's more spread out. So they got a couple people that could have a standout time and just kill everybody. Like Big Dan might just take out all the big dudes basically, except for Pena and maybe Victor Hugo. He might take out all the other big dudes though. He could take out Kyle Bohm and maybe Kynan, Pena, whoever is at that plus 99. Oliveira is going to terrorize the small people. He might not get a submission though, but he's going to terrorize them. Luke, Giancarlo, and Mika. Submission wise, I think Mika and Big Dan. That's it for New Wave. I think Giancarlo good, Luke good, Oliveira is good, but I think submission wise, you got to go Mika and Big Dan. Because Big Dan be grabbing them feet. Team Europe, second Europe, which is Australia. They got some killers. You got the big dude. Some of these big dudes are really good though. I think Big Dan and Luke can take out all these guys though. But some of these guys might take out, they might take out Kynan and what's the other guy? Victor Hugo. It's a toss up how Victor Hugo and Kynan gonna do. I can't tell you what they gonna do out there. They might not do. They might do good if you get Super Kynan out there. He might tear up people. But if you get I don't know Kynan, he might get taken out by an Australian dude. We got Atos. Atos got a couple. Barbosa might be up there too. But I think Kynan. It depends on what kind of Kynan we're gonna get. Pato gonna get some submissions for sure. He's gonna take off some legs. And Felipe Pena, he might take some backs. We'll see. Right now, I'm leaning towards Pato being the anchor, even though he's too small. Barbosa might be able to fill in that role. Kynan should fill in that role, but we don't know what kind of Kynan we're getting. Ronaldo Jr., I don't think Ronaldo Jr. should be out there. And Pena, we'll see what kind of Pena we get. Jason Whitfield says Mika had an ankle injury during the Dante fight. Oh, okay. Everybody's injured though. Jason Whitfield, everybody injured. Everybody injured out there. So I don't put a lot of weight in that win. Well, it's still a win's a win, Jason Whitfield. And Dante, not only has Dante beaten Mika, he's also beat Lucas. He beat some good guys on there, but Pata beat Dante. And, you know, that jiu-jitsu math just doesn't work out that way. Because if there was jiu-jitsu math, Pata would beat everybody out there somehow. Said Michael Pixley. That was the guy. Okay, Michael Pixley, who hurt Nicholas Margali. Yeah. Man, I wish we had Margali and Gordon Ryan out there. Wouldn't that be insane? That would be the best card ever. And nobody would be able to beat New Wave. But I guess it's better for overall the show. Because if you had Gordon Ryan on there, Gordon would beat everybody, literally. And Margali would beat most of the other dudes. So I guess it worked out for the best for us. All right, guys, we're going to try to stay on for 3 hours today. That's the goal. We got team Daisy Fresh. What is that guy's name? Brandon? Something? I can't remember his name. He's on YouTube. Got Dante. They got the slanted wall. So shout out to these guys getting ready. You know, that's all you can do is get ready for this stuff. This nice little post here. What does that say? It says, don't judge yourself too much. The championships are just an exam you can have the championships are just an exam you can have as a reference of results for what you have been doing at the present moment. It won't be your final result. It's just another life experience. Don't be afraid to lose. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to live a long plateau. I've definitely done that. Don't compare yourself. The learning process makes no sense. And whatever doubts about yourself at some point along the way, you will naturally answer all the questions. Just let it go. That's pretty nice advice. Brandon Reed. Okay. I was close though. Look, I said Brandon, didn't I? I was close.
I don't smoke, I don't have tattoos, I don't want to impress anyone, I just want to show the best of myself. I always strive for hard work, dedication, and excellence. My life and my success came from my work, because without a doubt, talent without hard work is nothing. I don't drink, I don't...
Is that Cristiano Ronaldo talking? Mika say he don't drink or smoke. And all he does is win.
Welcome back to IBJJF News, where we bring you the latest from the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation. This past weekend was packed with action, with 3 events across the United States and 1 in Brazil. Let's kick things off in Southern California at the San Diego Summer Open. Israel Almeida of GF Team took gold in a stacked featherweight bracket, winning 2 tough matches to come out on top. AOJ's Francisco Papacidero also had an impressive showing, claiming absolute gold after 3 solid victories. Down in Texas at the Dallas Summer Open, Helena Cravar returned to IBJJF competition for her second event as a black belt. She captured gold in the heavyweight division with a submission win. The biggest event of the weekend was the Vitória Open in Brazil. Alliance's Romulo Rocha made his black belt debut in the lightweight division. He impressed with an exciting style and came away with gold. Another Alliance athlete who won his division was Matheus Spirandelli, whose 2 wins earned him the medium heavyweight division gold medal. In-fight dominated the absolute divisions at the event, with Anderson Gomez and Maria Claudia both winning double gold. Anderson won 6 matches in total, earning gold medals in both the ultra heavyweight and absolute divisions. Maria Claudia started off her campaign by winning the lightweight division with 2 victories. She added 2 more wins in the absolute to win her second gold medal of the day. New York, Dallas, and Vitória also featured kids divisions, showing just how much jiu-jitsu is growing around the world across all ages. And don't forget, JujitsuCon kicks off August 28th through the 30th in Las Vegas, Nevada. Registration for World Master and all JujitsuCon tournaments closes August 17th or when capacity is reached. Don't miss your chance to be part of the biggest jiu-jitsu event in the world. Be sure to follow IBJJF to stay up to date on the latest news in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Is that the latest news, though? I mean, didn't all that stuff happen last weekend? It's Tuesday. Oh, I guess they posted that Monday. I'm not sure how effective what the IBJJF is doing is. Is this very, very, very kind of behind? You know, I feel like updates need to be more real time, right? It needs to be real time. I understand they don't have the biggest team. They don't have the biggest budget. They got money, but, you know, they're not putting that money towards the covering of the stories. They just kind of throw a million athletes at you. I'm not sure what the right method is. I think they just got to keep experimenting because they do this once a week. That ain't enough to cover the updates. You know, I'm live streaming about 5 days a week, and that's still not enough to cover everything that goes on in this sport. So, shoot, I'm just wondering. God dang it, messed my screen up. I'm just wondering, is there a better way to do that, or you probably need to dedicate a team to that kind of thing. You know, they for sure ain't gonna pay somebody like me to be covering all the stories. They don't care about. You know, just everything moves on so fast. Like sometimes it's better when I do the show later because I be catching up on some new news as well. So I'm just wondering is there a better way for them to do that? Shout out to these lovebirds. I'm hoping the best for them. They are really young, and she was curving him. You know, she was curving him, but you know what do I know? She was curving him. She wasn't letting him slide through those DMs. So I'm hoping for the best for them. You know, all my jiu-jitsu people and wrestling people, they be getting married early. We got Mikey Muzumechi. He says, my prayer for my match later. God, thank you for my life. Thank you for my family. Thank you for my pizza. Thank you for I'm sorry. Thank you for the stuff I have. Thank you for the stuff I don't have. God, please give me the power, strength, and courage to overcome, persevere, and achieve my goals. I do not pray to you to win. I pray to you to continue me down the path you have desired for me. Whatever that result being, I pray for health. I pray with complete gratitude to be able to compete in front of millions of people around the world. Millions of people. Watching me live the life I created when I was 4 years old. You didn't create that life for yourself at 4 years old. Your parents did. Just a kid that loved something and now is living his dream. I pray that I am with health to be able to have this opportunity. Through all the ups and downs I face, I know you are always there with me, always supporting me, always loving me, no matter how dark things have gotten in my life. I pray for no injuries for my opponent. Mikey, the one that be destroying those people's legs. Mikey done crippled 2 or 3 people already. I pray for no injuries for my opponent or myself, just memories for us both to grow from. I don't believe you, Mikey. I'm sorry. I don't believe none of this stuff, Mikey. From you. I love you, God, so much. I love my family so much. Thank you, God, for everything. God bless everyone. I just don't really believe Mikey. I don't believe anything Mikey says. I don't. You guys believe Mikey for me though. I want you to believe on Mikey for me.
Okay, we go and shoot. We go and shoot. I'm in your head. I'm in your head. I'm in your head.
Adele's choosing rock.
You motherfucker. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Why does Brienne and Adele why do they always train together? Like they're always together. Is something going on I don't realize, or what's going on over there? Jason Whitfield, what's going on over there? Am I out the loop or something? Are they just good friends? What's going on over there? You know, I'm a boomer. I don't really understand. God dang, Brienne. She got that sleeper build. You wouldn't. Because she looks nerdy, but, you know, she's strong. You know, I support these girls, whatever they want to do, however they live in their lives. You know, I don't know what they're doing over there. I don't know what they're doing over there. I don't know. Jason Whitfield says, yes, jiu-jitsu is growing, but what's the end goal for a lot of these competitors? Yeah. I'm wondering about those kids that their parents spending all that money for private lessons with Tynan and you know, Guy Mendez. Like, what's the move for those kids? Are they going to get to a point where the family's like, all right, this is not paying off. You're going to have to go to rowing. You're going to have to play soccer, little Timmy. You're going to have to do, you know, you're going to have to give up this jiu-jitsu stuff, little Johnny. Yeah, I'm wondering because, you know, they have all these kids and they're making all these super great kids. I'm just wondering what the next option is. Are they going to own schools? Or what are they going to do? Teach jiu-jitsu? That's a waste of all their parents' money. Especially in California. You know, where are all those students going to go to? And, you know, maybe AOJ, they'll just, whenever they get too many students, they'll just do a splinter cell and create another school. And then, got more champions, we'll create another school. Maybe that's their growth plan. So what's the end goal for a lot of these competitors? What happens when you realize you're not talented enough or have an injury and you have no other skills? Well, you know, what happens is you just kind of, you fade away. That's what happens at those other big teams. You just kind of fade away, or they keep you waiting for, you know, opportunity. And then 20 years later, okay, now we're going to open a school with you. I'm not sure what their move is going to be. Maybe they want to, you know, create sister schools in the future, like they created a Mission Viejo. You know, maybe they'll just expand that way because they don't do typical associations. It's just I don't know what their game plan is. You can make some money in jiu-jitsu, but you know, you know, maybe this is the peak of jiu-jitsu of its popularity and its clout. So, you know, maybe that's not the move for it. Owning a school is not for everybody. And then being a champion is not for everybody. Being the world champion, not everybody can become a world champion. Look at, what's the one girl, Jessica Khan? What happened to her? She won worlds one time, I believe, and she's like, I'm done. And there's really not, I mean, maybe she could do CGI or, you know, do something else. I think she's teaching, but it's not for everybody. And I mean, that happens in wrestling and judo too, you know. Once those kids finish that collegiate career, they're like, I'm never wrestling ever again. Some of those guys. But that's pretty interesting. I want to see what happens to a lot of these kids.
Hello. The darkness.
man wasting all his CJI money. How much money you think he got left over from CJI? I'm assuming 30% taxes. I'm throwing 30% in there just for the heck of it. So $700,000. He bought a new Raptor. What is that? $150,000. If he got about 500, I don't think he got 500 grand left over. I don't think he got $500,000 left over. He might have 200, but he been wasting money. I would waste a little bit of money too if I won. Is that him with his kid? Maybe we shouldn't play.
Quick reminder that this coming September, I'll be teaching a seminar at Alpha Miami Grappling in Miami, Florida. Click the link in my bio to reserve your spot, and I'll see you there.
My man still gotta go teach. He spent a lot of money. He still gotta go teach. It says Gable Stevenson joins the Flow Grappling Show to talk about his upcoming CJI 2 match against Craig Jones.
Craig, have you watched any of his matches, anything like that, or?
When Craig reached out about this, I had no recollection of who he was. I just figured he was a promoter. I didn't know the backstory. This matchup should be just like Craig's old ones, easy ones for him, but this is gonna be an easy one for me.
What do you know about Craig? Have you watched any of his matches?
My man Gable Stevenson, I don't know. Gable got a lot of experience though. Collegiate wrestling, professional wrestling, NFL Combine. Jason Whitfield says Jessica Kahn is an instructor at AOJ Mission Veo. She was really talented, but had some of the best coaches. Now she is teaching at jiu-jitsu school that's not even hers. Okay. Did she win worlds? But she just stopped competing, right? She stopped competing. So we're gonna see that a lot. I think we're gonna see a lot of these kids burn out. The kids that started at 4 years old. Mikey's a special case. 4 years old, autism. Okay, of course, he's going to keep training. I really wish Mikey had gone on to his law career and get him out of this sport. But it's a very small percentage of kids that you see. You don't see. You see it like even out of all those kids, there's only going to be one Tynan, one Cole. You don't see the 200 other kids that didn't make it or wanted to go to college and, had family businesses to run and other responsibilities. So Mikey in his own league. He didn't even get the good tism. So I am wondering, I think you're going to see a lot of those kids win one world championship and then all right, let me go do some other stuff. Or sometimes the kids take a break. I believe Rolando Sampson did that. He stopped competing, got his PT degree, and then he came back. These kids nowadays don't have any balance. And at least in jiu-jitsu, they don't have any balance as far as doing other sports and having other friends and other interests. So, honestly, I don't think the kids should be pushed into doing professional grappling like that. Like you guys, I wish you guys could go see those ADCC Opens. Them kids out there. I mean, most of those kids aren't gonna keep training. They're gonna burn out. Their parents gonna burn them out. Says former NC State All-American Tommy Gant signs with Dana White's Contender Series. So I wish this guy he'd gone on to do some wrestling, with RAF or something, but he's going on to Dana White's Contender Series. I believe they only get 10 and 10 to win and 10 to show. So, I mean, he could have made more of that in wrestling clinics, or having his own wrestling academy. But you do you, bro. I boycott most UFC stuff. Got the Spartan wrestling shoes. I need to get a new pair of wrestling shoes too. So I need to start looking at some. We got the Rotulos. They're getting ready for their fight.
There it is, Keith. is, Cade. Pull.
The striking looks okay. A little stiff. A little too stiff.
No, you good.
Yeah, a little too stiff. As far as I remember from striking class, you got to be relaxed. And the punches seem a little slow. Is that just me? The punches look a little slow, Cade. I mean, Cade, he's going to grapple you and tackle you. But the punches look a little slow.
No, you good.
Let's watch one more time. They look a little slow. Was that a double jab?
No, you good.
Maybe he's going for power.
On the target. That's it. Much better. Eyes on the target. Beautiful. Out of 3. On the target. That's it. Much better. Eyes on the target. Beautiful. Out of 3. On the target.
Maybe he's going for power. That just doesn't seem like anything I've seen in striking, you know. I always thought force equals mass time acceleration. So where's the acceleration at, Cade? You know, if you watch like boxers or something, I mean, obviously it's MMA. He's getting ready for MMA, but if you watch boxers, bro, the punches, boom, you know, that thing be so fast. So I just wonder, you know, man, once these guys fight some real strikers, though, that be, you know, watch some real strikers. What was the Dutch kickboxer guy? I'll just type in Dutch kickboxing. DUT. I'm not saying everyone has the same style. What was that kid? What was that guy's name? Yeah, that guy. What was that guy's name? Raymond Deckers. Yeah, Raymond Deckers. Remember Raymond Deckers? They got any clips of that? I'm looking for a clip. But yeah, watch some old school Dutch kickboxers. This is some Muay Thai though.
Oh, non-stop action now, just back and forth between these two fighters.
Well, that's Muay Thai though. Raymond Deckers. What the heck just came out? I'm trying to find a video of that though. That wasn't right. Says even the Rotullo bros wanted to quit jiu-jitsu multiple times. They wanted to do other things. If they wanted to quit, what chance does most of these kids have? Honestly, those kids don't have any chance. And that's with all the physical gifts in the world. So, you know, their parents were putting in a lot of work to keep them in there. That's not what I wanted. Yeah. And Rotullos, you know, they did surfing and surfing, skateboarding, and they're not even doing jiu-jitsu now, to be honest. They doing MMA. So maybe that's one route for those kids, Jason Whitfield. They'll just give up on jiu-jitsu, pull a Mackenzie Dern, and just go to MMA, maybe. That would be kind of interesting. You know, say you had the Tackets, you know, they really want to fight MMA. Just maybe if you have all these young people going into MMA, you know, you could have a new resurgence of MMA fighters with jiu-jitsu backgrounds. Let's watch a highlight. I'm hoping there's not too much music on this. Oh, that's for sure some music. I can't play that music, guys. They love to give me the copyright strike. Yeah, most kids ain't gonna stick in jiu-jitsu. The only kids that stay in jiu-jitsu are the ones where that's the only place they fit in. So, when the Rotulos fight a Raymond Deckers or somebody, good luck. Them slow punches ain't gonna work on a real striker, bro. You're gonna get knocked out. They might be okay in one championship, actually, because they're a little bit heavier. But say they go to UFC or somewhere, man, they're gonna fight the Rotulos of striking, They ain't fighting no Rotulos of striking. Yeah, look at this, bro. Look at them. Look at them punches. And look, those gloves are huge, too. That's 16. No, that's 10 ounce, right? Oy, oh. And just the combinations. Like the way Cade was throwing those power shots, I was like, bro, somebody else would have 3 or 4 more shots in that same time span. I mean, Raymond Deckers was also one of the best Dutch kickboxers, right? So. And, some of those guys don't feel pain like regular people feel pain. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how my Rotulos do, but, there's some crazy people out there in MMA. The Rotulos are crazy too, but, there's some even crazier people out there in MMA. There's always someone crazier. So, yeah, I just wanted to show Raymond Deckers. I mean, there's a ton of other great strikers out there you can reference. I'm just thinking, if those punches look slow to me, and I'm not, I'm not really anything in striking, but those things look slow to me. They for sure look slow to a professional striker.
They make you a better wrestler and help you understand positions at a world-class level. We also run a deal every single week, giving you 30% off a whole bunch of instructionals. So click the link to see which ones are on sale this week.
I believe, I'm not sure if Jason Wolf owns Ocean or he's the, investor in it or, co-owns it, but, yeah. They got some good stuff on there. It's basically BJJ Fanatics, but for wrestling. My man said, I don't like leg locks anymore, at least in competition, because I prefer a faster pace of jiu-jitsu now. So you don't want to win your match? You want a faster pace? All right, bro, what are you talking about? He said leg locks slow down matches, and the viewers sometimes aren't interested in that type of pace. Who cares? You trying to win the match. He says, do you not think that a varying paces a match makes more exciting or viewable? Who cares? Now, he's in a tournament, guys. He's not in Who's Number One. He's not at CJI. He's not at UFC BJJ. He's at the ADCC. Who cares? You try to win the match with whatever you got, bro. Why are you so picky? That's the issue with these influencers. These jiu-jitsu influencers. They don't care about being good at jiu-jitsu. They trying to be exciting. Yeah, these kids just want to be exciting. I see that. I think that's a really bad thing. Because they're not going to focus on any technique. They're just going to do whatever stands out. You know, they're going to do whatever stands out. You about to get tapped out? What's going on? Yeah, I got tapped out. I mean, I guess it's still content. I'm just, these kids don't focus on the process anymore. The process of getting good. They want to be famous without being good, which I understand. But says, did you see Jason Nolf got his blue belt? We talked about that yesterday, and it was not properly tied, Mr. Jason Whitfield. How did your man Gordon Ryan let him go out there without his belt tied? Did you see that, Jason Whitfield? Let me read this first, and I'll go watch that belt tie. Says, I'm not one of the best. This is Junie. I am the best. Junie, you're one of the best. You're not the best. You're one of the best. I'm sorry. Nobody's the best. Some of you guys are one of the best. I'm not the best. I'm not even one of the best. And that changes day by day. Whoever's the best in jiu-jitsu. He says, no hype, no handouts, just results. At 36, I'm doing what most couldn't at their peak. They don't have to say it. I already know what it is. Junie, you still got to do a little bit more, man. You got to do a little bit more before you can say you're the best. I'm sorry. Even guys like Tynan can't say they're the best, even though he's one of the best ever. Let's look up Jason Nolf. Jason Whitfield. No wonder Jason Whitfield likes Jason Nolf. They got the same name. And Jason Rao. Jason Whitfield, can you explain this belt tie to me, sir? Can you explain this belt tie right here? Let me zoom in for you, bro. Mr. Jason Whitfield, what happened with that belt tie there, huh? Look at that thing. How you get your blue belt, can't tie your belt? Can you defend that, Mr. Jason? I'm not saying he's someone said it seems rushed, but if Gordon thinks he's ready. Danny Chopper says, it's funny because the criticisms I could give myself for my last match, I should have probably went for leg locks in the beginning. Yeah, you should have. You do whatever you need to win, Do whatever's in your skill set. Now, if you don't do no leg locks, don't just throw a leg lock out there unless you really want to. Jason Nolf is good. I don't know how good he is in the gi. That's one issue when, these wrestlers get promoted. They don't use any gi techniques. I remember seeing J-Rod. He put the gi on. He didn't use the gi at all. Are you really a brown belt in the gi? Same thing with that Brandon Reed guy. Are you really a brown belt in the gi if you don't use the gi at all in your passing and your sweeps? I don't think those dudes had any. I don't think Brandon Reed ain't got no guard. Jason Whitfield, does Brandon Reed have a guard? I don't even think J-Rod has a guard. Does J-Rod have a guard? And if they do have a guard, it's going to be no gi base, right? They don't know how to use that gi. They couldn't show you a spider guard sweep, a scissor sweep. They couldn't show you a basic movement, And they got the brown belt in jiu-jitsu. So you do need a level of skill and knowledge, not just being tough. I mean, anybody can be tough off the street. But do these guys actually have the knowledge of that belt level? Same thing with Moneyberg. Does Moneyberg have the knowledge of a blue belt? Probably not. Does Jason Nolf have the knowledge of a blue belt? Probably not either. Now he's got knowledge of grappling from all his wrestling experience, but there's a certain level of technique you should be seeing from those guys and knowledge. But we're in a new age, I mean, Gordon Ryan was over there doing private lessons with Moneyberg, so I don't know what else to say about that, dude. Moving on, we got Team Iran. We call them Persians over here, but Iran everywhere else. We think wrestling's big over here, but look at wrestling over there.
Hardcore.
Jab one. Yes.
Healthy snacks today, guys. Pumpkin seeds. We're doing it. We're doing healthy today. Yeah. We just too poor to understand these guys. And you might be right. We might be too poor. We got sparring professional boxers as a kickboxer. I thought that was pretty interesting. So we're going to listen to this guy for a second.
Sparring runs with boxers, bro, I have mad headaches. Like, and I only spar like boxers once every 7 months or something, 6 months or whatever. Like, I barely ever spar boxers, bro. But
because they're going 100%.
What's that, sorry?
Are they going like 100%?
Not exactly, but I'm just like, if I'm sparring these guys and I'm already feeling like this, how are they doing that every single day? And like these pro dudes who are like eating, I mean, how many punches are they eating in a fight? Whereas in kickboxing, you're eating a leg kick, you're eating a body kick on your arm or whatever. You know, some dudes do get knocked out with head kicks or, you know, elbows or whatever. But like compared to boxing, those dudes are like eating punches like non-stop. Like when I do sparring runs with boxers, bro, I have mad headaches. Like, and I only spar like boxers once every 7 months or something, 6 months.
Someone says, never had a light spar in a boxing gym. It didn't exist. Took more damage in every sparring session than any match. And that is the same reason why I don't spar anymore. Of course, I miss it, but I have to suppress the urge to prioritize my brain health. So that is a downside to all the striking. I like striking, but yeah, I'm not going to. I take enough damage in jiu-jitsu, so I'll leave that up to the Rotulos. Gabriel Souza will be at Polaris. All right, shout out to him. Is he not on a CGI team? I think he did the tryout at Altos, but they said they're going to go with Pato instead. So maybe he can become a alternate for one of the teams. You know what? Seriously, team Tim Planet need to take him over Geo. Or he could maybe go to trying to think. Yeah, I think Tim Planet's probably got the weakest 66 kg fighter. Maybe one of the other teams will need a 66. Team Europe, maybe? No, they got Owen Jones. He might be able to fit in somewhere. I don't know.
Eddie Bravo was right. This could not be the work of human beings. Aliens must have built this. And when I say aliens, I mean undocumented, crafty Mexicans. Someone call us, because our next athlete, representing 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu minus 77 kilos, Alan Sanchez, is very dangerous. ADCC trials vet, dominated at PGF, and the combat jiu-jitsu champion. As I sit here in America in an Arby's car park, admiring his ancestors' handiwork, I can't help but get excited for CGI 2. Live and free on YouTube, August 30, 31.
All right, guys, your guy, Craig Jones, is doing it. So we're going to try to make sure we give some dollar bills to Craig. All right, everybody on this show, we're going to try to give Craig Jones a couple dollar bills for all his hard work. He deserves it. He says, no AOJ or Alliance at CGI. What's up with that? Well, Alliance don't really do no-gi like that. Who at Alliance do no-gi? Maybe the old school guys, Marcelo, Lucas, Cobrinha. All them dudes old. They retired. They living the good life. AOJ don't really do no-gi. And the one dude that does no-gi, Pato, they sent him to Atos. So that's just the way it is. Alliance couldn't fill the team. AOJ, they don't lose. They can't lose. So the only way to not lose is to not compete. So that's how they keep their record good. AOJ could have had Pato, Cole, Tynan. They got Felipe Andrew, and then they could have did a wild card for a big dude. But the chances of them losing were pretty high. You know, they just gonna stay in IBJJF, which I understand. CJI official says, have you been daydreaming about CJI potential matchups? Which one of these goes the hardest? So they got Mika Gaval versus Joseph Chin. I'm a big Joseph Chin fan, but I think my man will get stomped. You know, Joseph Chin has experienced Tynan, but you know, Tynan can't even take Mika Gaval out. So we'll see. That'll be a good match. Kynan versus Owen Jones. That would be pretty interesting. I mean, Owen Jones would die, but you know. Lucas Kennard versus Luke Griffith. Australian versus South African. Can we not put all the former UK people in the same match? Dan versus Felipe Pena. That might be pretty interesting. Barbosa versus Fabricio Andre. Okay, maybe. We could see that. I could see that being interesting. We might see that. You know, Craig Jones is going to have a good show for everybody. He says, you really think they care about the record that much? Yeah. AOJ? Of course they care. Man, have you ever seen Rafa Mendez lose on AOJ Plus? Heck no. Rafa is the leader of the cult. You can't have him losing. Yeah, for sure. I mean, their whole strategy is we win. That's their marketing right there. We win. That's the old Alliance strategy. They had all the world champions back in the day. Now they can't use that. They still use we won 13, 14, 15 world championships, but I can't name an Alliance champion. Alliance didn't have no world champions at the last world championship, the black belt. Now they might do well at the lower belts. For sure, AOJ. AOJ. Well, why aren't they out there then? If there's a lot of money to be made, there's $1 million on the line, and AOJ's not out there. That's on them, right? They could easily have gone on that show. Tackett, what is Tackett saying?
The new wave guys just like walking with their lead arm down, their rear arm high. You down block their lead leg. And so that's their shooting leg. No matter which side, you get an underhook on their lead.
So if they have a right or left lead leg, that's my right or left down block.
Mm-hmm. Like down blocking. Like when you're in a stance, you don't down block your lead leg. Like everyone thinks like you see a bunch of the new wave guys just like walking with their lead arm down, their rear arm high. You down block their lead leg. And so that's their shooting leg. No matter which side, you get an underhook on their lead.
So if they have a right or left lead leg, that's my right or left down block.
Mm-hmm. Like down blocking. Like when you're in a stance, you don't.
Sorry guys, I'm snacking over here. I don't know. I don't know if I will listen to Tackett on this one. I'll leave it up to you guys. If you guys want to block your lead leg or don't want to block it, I'll leave it up to you guys. Someone did it really, they said it really well. In wrestling, there are a few absolutes. This is an example of something that is not absolute. Yeah, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. I don't want to get into wrestling details. Says it looks goofy, but it seems to work. It's because they're too upright. Let me stand up.
Are we gonna?
I won't have the microphone. Actually, can I bring the microphone with me? Let's see. We're gonna do some jiu-jitsu today. So it's because they're too upright. You guys can't even see my legs. Where my legs at? They're too upright, so they're too upright. So it looks like this. So in wrestling, you gotta keep your hips down, lower. You know, you should have a low base, and this arm should be ready. And yeah, of course, you can put your hands on your partner or your hands on the floor. But you should be in a lower base anyway, ready to shoot or react. But you know, because of jiu-jitsu, they can do the guillotine. If we have a low base, our neck is exposed, and you know, snap downs. It's just not that effective. That's why you don't really see people with a really low base in like ADCC. They're usually more upright, moving around. But in wrestling, you know, at least American style wrestling, they're very low. But if you go like Iran or you know, Russia, they're going to be a little bit more upright because they play more upper body throws. So it's more of a stylistic thing. You know, in America, they where am I? Hey, you know, in America, they learned a lot from John Smith and Cael Sanderson. So everybody shoots really low, particularly, you know, low single, high crotch. Japan, they shoot very low too, but some countries they do more upper body, underhook, collar tie, you know, body throws. So they're going to be a little bit more upright. So it just depends on the situation. There are no absolutes in wrestling. You know, you can freestyle it's freestyle. Did you guys know it's called freestyle for a reason? Freestyle. You do whatever you want as long as you win. So you can get in there and do whatever you want. It says book signing and doesn't show up. Oh, there we go. Fabio Gurgel, the general. He talks like this. It says book signing alert. We're excited to announce a very special book signing at the 2025 Jiu-Jitsu Con. Master Fabio Gurgel will be there in person to release the English edition of his best-selling book, Unshakable: Jiu-Jitsu Leadership Principles Applied to Life and Business. That is a title. Oh, Unshakable. Yeah, okay. That was quite the title, though. Subtitle, too. The original Portuguese version was a smash hit, and now it's being translated for a global audience. So I guess that just means English. Don't miss this rare opportunity to meet the IBJJF Hall of Famer Coral Belt and one of Jiu-Jitsu's most successful business leaders. I thought Moneyberg was our most successful business leader. Fabio Gurgel, you know, I had the chance to meet him and roll with him. Bro, terrible. Oh, you guys can't even see it. My bad. There we go. That's what I was reading off of. Terrible person to roll with. He's not in his prime anymore, but I bet him, you know, I think he was in his 30s or 40s. But yeah, it was a terrible time, but because he would make you suffer. You think you guys know what pressure passing is, but he would just make you suffer, and it was just crazy. He's really good though. I admit it. He was really good. He's still pretty good. I think he's retired now though. We got Alex, you know, the girl that does all the work with CJI and some of the other stuff, Aiga. She says, final semester of summer school, Jiu-Jitsu Journalism 101. 26 days till the Super Bowl of Jiu-Jitsu. It's bittersweet to scroll through my phone to see all the work in the lead up to CJI 2 so far. Coming out of production meetings for CJI 2 and searching for my jaw on the floor after listening to the plans to make this the greatest Jiu-Jitsu spectacle of all time. It's going to be crazy, y'all. Get your tickets soon. I'm telling you guys to get your tickets if you're going to be out there. But shout out to Alex. She's doing kind of what I do, but on a higher level. You know, I'm in the basement, but she out there doing stuff, flying all over the place. Hopefully we can get this channel monetized in a little bit. We're at 726. So if you guys don't know, you can start making money once you get to 1,000. So we're trying to get there. Just slow. Takes, I think I've been streaming since January or February, like almost every day. It's terrible. I might start streaming when I go back home. I might stream a little bit more. We'll see. On says Gurgel or Danaher, who was a better coach? Well, Gurgel wasn't my coach. My coach was Gurgel's coach. So I was under the head of Alliance, who gave Fabio Gurgel his black belt. Honestly, I mean, Danaher's good. He you could say he produced, not produced, but cultivated Gordon Ryan, Gary Tonin, Eddie Cummings. I don't know if that one's true. Giancarlo. Is that about it? That's about it. Big Dan, Luke. The thing with Fabio is that he had some once in a lifetime athletes. Guys like Bernardo Faria, huge honor. Hello, guys. Okay, guys. Today we're going to talk about. Yeah, you got Bernardo, Leo Nogueira, Batista, Lucas. You had Marcelo, Gabby Garcia. You had Michael Langhi, Cobrinha. I mean, that's an all-star cast right there. They done won everything. They won more. They got more ADCC, more world championships than anybody else could ever get as a team. So I think that's hard to compare. When you got like all those killers over there. Buchecha, he didn't make Buchecha though. Buchecha was under Kavaka, checkmate. But then you can consider. So if we go back to Fabio Gurgel, he's the reason the Lions split the first time. So Damian Maia, where's my finger? Damian Maia, you guys can't see my fingers. Damian Maia, Ricardo and Leo Vieira. I don't know. I think Terere was over there too for a minute. Terere potentially. Comprido. Ratinho. I think Soluso. Some other people. So I can name like once in a generation talents that there ain't no more Marcelos, and they had a whole team of those people. So yeah, I think that's hard to beat. Yeah, I think even for Danaher Danaher would need like 5 more Gordon Ryans, and I think that's it for him. He only had really Gordon Ryan, but Fabio had arguably a couple of the best people ever in his team, all training together. What do you think about standard jiu-jitsu on CLA training? I don't really care. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it already. I saw it already. I'm not the biggest fan of Greg Solders or the CLA. If it works, it works. I think it's marketing. That's what you guys love. You guys don't like the real stuff. You want marketing. You want Monkeyberg. You want people getting their blue belts. Can't tie the belt. Can't show you a technique in the gi, but they get the blue belt. So that's what you guys want. I do believe in having different training models, training methodologies. I'm all about balance over here. Drilling, I like to drill. I see the AOJ people drilling. You can throw a little bit of ecological in there, positional sparring, but I think you need a lot of drilling. You need a lot of just training. I don't know why you guys want so many constraints. Saunders was a Lloyd Irvin guy. I don't know if I saw him over there, but I did hear that. Where do you think he learned the marketing from? Where do you think Saunders learned how to market? So that's, yeah. I like some of the Lloyd Irvin guys. I'm friends with some of those guys. I'm not the biggest fan of Solders. I do think it's marketing. Even as far as CJI, I believe there's better American coaches. There's better people that could be the coach. Keenan could have been the coach for Team Americas. JT Torres could have been the coach for Team Americas. There's some other people that could have been the coach. I can't name any. Lovato could have been the coach for Team Americas. You know, they could have had somebody that actually did ADCC. They could have had someone that did ADCC out there. There's some other people that could have been the coach. So, I believe the Corby Bros were already good. The girl Alex, she was already good before she got the Soliders. So, some of that's luck in recruiting. Think about Fabio Gurgel. He recruited a lot of those guys. That's kind of how it works in Brazil, though. AOJ recruited a lot of people. Cole's not from there. Cole's not from AOJ. Pato used to be at Unity and was already a black belt world champion before he went to AOJ. Rafa Mendes, well, he's a Brazilian, but he Brazilian. Rafa Mendes could have been competing. Rafa Mendes should be competing. Have you guys seen Rafa Mendes? Let's pull up Rafa Mendes for you guys. You guys haven't seen Rafa Mendes. I don't know if he has an Instagram account. Let's see. Mendes, bro. It's crazy. The Mendes brothers don't have their own separate accounts. They've been using the same account. Alex Nugent. Yeah, I knew Alex because she used to live in Atlanta. I used to teach her. Yeah, her dad. Yeah. I remember her family, her dad, her mom, her brother. I think she had a sister. Yeah, I used to teach her back in the day. I don't sit there and say, well, I made her a world champion. She was already going to be a world champion. She's been training since she was young. Listen, every dad's overprotective, bro. every dad in this world going to be overprotective. But she was already good. I trained with her for like a couple years, I believe. You don't hear me saying I made a world champion and it was because of my strategies. No, she would have been the world champion anywhere, bro. Where's Rafa Mendes at? Looking for Rafa Mendes. Some of these kids might burn out, bro. Look at this kid. That kid definitely might burn out. That kid, can you saw to test this kid? That Icaro kid that looks like a grown man in a 12-year-old body. Dang, he almost took that kid's knee out. She was trying to get a BBL. No, what are you talking about? Oh, for competition? I don't know what you talking about, bro. What you talking about over there? I'm trying to find Rafa Mendes. Rafa look old though. Look at his face. I gotta call him sir when I see him. You know the Mendes brothers got money, bro. Whew. They got way more money than me. I'm jealous, guys. I ain't gonna lie and say I'm not jealous. I'm for sure jealous. I am for sure jealous. I'm not saying I would do what they did to get that success. Yeah, you don't know what these guys do for that success. That's what you guys don't see. You don't see what these guys are doing for that success. You don't see the repercussions. You don't see their life after the spotlight. What happens when they not in the spotlight anymore. That's what you guys don't see. You see the world championships. You see the money. You see the watches. You see the Captain Brazil. That happened 5 weeks ago. We missed that. He got his citizenship. We don't see, well, I see it. You guys don't see what happens behind the scenes. I'm trying to find Hoffa Mendez. And I can't show you what happens behind the scenes. I can't show you. Them dudes come after me. Them guys come try to fight me. Where's Hoffa Mendez at? I'm looking for him. Jason says, I think they chose Greg Saunders because of his clout. Good or bad, he is character. Well, Team America's going to get crushed. What's going to happen to his clout then? He is a character and CGI needs characters. That's true. I think someone like JT would be good, though. Like, I get hyped up watching JT. Is this the stuff? Let's see. Guys, my man said he passed USADA. How you pass USADA with them nipples like that? Ain't no way you passing USADA with them nipples pointy like that. Them nipples too pointed for you to be passing USADA, bro. Look at them nipples, guys. Them nipples, them diamond cutters. That's too much, bro. I'm looking for the Hoffa Mendez one. Where's Hoffa Mendez at? And all these guys got the same physique. How is that possible, bro? How everybody got the same physique? How all these guys got the same physique? They ain't related, but how they all got the same physique? I can't find it. I wish I could find it. I can't find it. Let's see. Ooh, you guys posting. What do you mean by that? Can't tell you. What's up, dog? You gotta pay more money. You gotta pay more money. Moneyberg said I'm too broke. So says you think they doing privates with Moneyberg too? Who? Possibly. Greg Saunders, CLA like Saunders, but I agree it's marketing. Moneyberg sucks, honestly. Yeah. Greg Saunders, Corby Bros. I like the Corby Bros. I believe the Corby Bros just cut a lot of weight. They be cutting a lot of weight. Says, I agree that CLA is used for marketing. Moneyberg sucks. Bro, the diamond cutters could be just genetic. Nah, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Moneyberg versus Zuckerberg. Moneyberg too broke to roll with Zuckerberg like that. We got Baron Bozo. Let's see what she got to say. She says, point of view, an unknowable dark force moves your hand to the pay registration button every 3 weeks. You want to stop it, but there's a weird competition goblin elf creature inside your stomach, and it needs to feel stressed and horrible if it can't live on. Teehee, I'm just a little crazy. You might joke to yourself, knowing full well that your identity and body dysmorphia are inexorably tied to how you perform in a 5 to 10 minute pajama scuffle scored by scary lady ref in a suit. Anyway, it's totally fine because competing, failure, and success are just data and don't cause long-lasting emotional turmoil at all. Shout out to Baron Bozo. She's been putting out some good content about competing and, just the sport. And she in her first year black belt. Let's see her when she's 10 years in like me. I think she's competed more than me too. If I had more money, I would compete. It's expensive. It's expensive to go out there. It's expensive to go out there and pay for all this money. Pay all this money to compete for IBJF. It's about $130, $160 for just one division. And, sometimes I got to do gi and no gi. That's $300 just about. And registration fee. That's too much money, bro. And you got to remember, I've been doing it. She just got her black belt. She got it in like 7 years. Less than 7. She got her black belt in like 6 years or something. Something insane like that. She trained at a CLA place. But man, once you've been a black belt for 10 years, like, dang, this is a lot of money. How much? I wish I could get reimbursed for all the money I gave IBJJF. They won't even give me a glass of water. IBJF wouldn't give me a glass of water. Do you guys know where that joke comes from? It comes from Jacare Souza. When he broke his arm, the 2004 match versus Roger Gracie where he broke his arm. And he's like, man, I would see the Gracie, the IBJJF people, man, they didn't offer me, they wouldn't even offer me a glass of water and no help. So he broke his arm. They didn't offer to help him or anything. And then that's when he decided to go to MMA. He was like, screw this crap. And we're in the same situations now. So yeah, they wouldn't give me a glass of water for sure. Her coach is her boyfriend. Well, case closed. That's how she got. I mean, she's good actually. She actually is good. Now, if she got promoted a little early, that might be why. So guys, I don't even like that situation where the coach is dating the students. That is not good. I've seen it work out maybe once or twice before. I don't suggest you guys do that. And if you're a coach out there, I don't suggest you do that. If you're a student out there, I don't suggest you do that. You don't date your coach. It don't usually end well. And it's kind of weird. I like Baron Bozo, but that situation's kind of weird. Look, man, my man got all the detail. Welcome to the channel, bro. You and Jason Whitfield got all the details out here. Danny Choppa says she spins some truth. I'm still wondering why I'm competing even though I get the nerves bad. I guess overcoming adversity is what makes me go do it anyways. Yeah, man, that's awesome. Jacare is goated. Yeah, Jacare, he won he won that absolute tournament. He's like, man, screw these people. I'm going to UFC. We got Kennedy. Man, Kennedy going through it. Claudia said he boring and that she's not going to give him a title fight. So Kennedy says, what an amazing experience competing at UFC BJJ 2. UFC, I won my super fight alongside my brother, The Future, who in my opinion had the fight of the night. Proud of you, little bro. Special thanks to my coach. Why didn't he say my dad? He said my coach. He won't even say dad. Shout out to my dad. He said shout out to my coach. What the heck is going on over there, Kennedy? Shout out to my father, Cobrinha Charles. Why he said my coach? Ain't that cold? Why he do that, guys? He said shout out to my father for all the guidance and for being in my corner. He better be in your corner. He's your dad. Is Kennedy's not with the same girl? Wait a second. Let me do some research. Thank you to everyone at Alliance Cobrinha for constant support. As always. Also, my girlfriend, Lauren Shin. Kennedy's not with the same girl? Oh, I did see that. I think that girl, somebody took that girl from him. Does anybody know the details on that? I believe Kennedy was with the Brazilian girl. I think that Brazilian girl is with another dude somewhere. He says, big shout out to Mikey Musumeci for going wild with me, trying to drop those last pounds, running in the parking lot in over 104-degree heat. I won't forget that. Wow. You didn't know that was Cobrinha's son? You didn't know Cobrinha Jr. is Cobrinha's son? He might be disowned because he I don't know if you saw his match at Worlds. He got disowned. They're not father and son no more. They're just coach and athlete. Kennedy got disowned, disinherited. He says, Claudia, thank you for the opportunity to be a part of the great event. Hope to be back soon. Claudia wasn't happy about him. Let me do a little research because I think Kennedy got a new girlfriend. Oh, that's his girlfriend. What's up, man? Kennedy, you doing good, bro? I'm a little jealous. I'm jealous over here, guys. I'm a little jealous. What's going on, man? You got him a nice little thing over there, man. I see you, bro. I see you, young blood. All right, I'm for sure. I thought that was just one of the. All right, my man Kennedy doing it, bro. Oh, that's not his girl. That's his girl. That's not you though, Kennedy. Oh, that's her family. All right, sorry guys, we over here stalking a little bit. On his promo stuff, it says Kennedy. He got disowned. If you watch the match, they said Kennedy Jr. Cobrinha Jr. Her striking looks better than Cade's. Let me move my big old head out the way. How come her striking looks better than Cade's striking? She got better hands than Cade. Dang, she might be able to beat Cade Rotullo. Oh, she a white belt? Kennedy, why your girlfriend a white belt, bro? Isn't that his ex-girlfriend? No? Oh, that's a different girl. Never mind. Kennedy was for sure with a different girl, though. Black belt dating a white belt. Isn't that the usual story? Oh, they've been together for a minute. 30 weeks ago? Yeah, they've been together for a minute. All right, I didn't know all this. I'm out the loop. All right, Kennedy, we see you, man. We see you, bro. We see you, man. Let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm over here. She could just be sandbagged. Nah, bro. When you get that black belt boyfriend, you get promoted fast. Look at Baron Bozo. I'm sorry, Baron Bozo. I do like Baron Bozo. She gonna unfriend me after this live stream. Yeah, he didn't know he was. Let's see. We'll find something that says Cobrinha Jr. He might have got disowned. That's why. I think they said Cobrinha Jr.
Kennedy Maciel. Tá com a chave de calcanhar ali, o Hulk. Vem esticando o corpo pra pegar, muita pressão.
I mean, he's also like 25. I don't know if you want to be known as Cobrinha Jr.
Qual que é o seu próximo desafio? O que você gostaria agora?
Então, eu sei quem tá aí com o cinturão, né, que é o Carlos Henrique. Tenho um respeito máximo por ele, mas gostaria...
Oh, he want to fight Carlos Henrique? Kennedy, he gonna kick your ass. I'm sorry, Kennedy. I like Kennedy. You know, I went to Japan with Kennedy. Kennedy, you ain't ready for that, bro. You better dodge that bullet. Dodge that bullet, Kennedy. Don't call out Carlos Henrique, bro. He for real. He a real one. You saw what he did to Isaac. Kennedy, you better stay away from Kennedy. You gonna end up with a broken arm or broken leg or something, bro. Nah, man. Don't fight Carlos Henrique. I'm trying to hear them say Cobrinha Jr. I can't play mini, man. You're gonna get us. It says, yo, I thought Kate looked all right. Nah, not compared to that girl. That girl got better hands. I think she's actually a boxer, though. That looks a little dangerous up there. You might slip off. What if you slipped off of there, broke your leg after trying to warm up?
Participando do UFC BJJ é um prazer. Eu acho que são oportunidades que eu acho que nós, né,
You don't hear anybody talking about him being related to Cobrinha. Well, that's his dad, bro, for sure. I mean, for sure. It does say Kennedy Maciel.
What's up, everyone? Kennedy Maciel over here. Today we just started class at 7:20 p.m. Nogi at Cobrinha HQ. And I'm getting ready for my UFC BJJ. That's going to be on July 31st. Stay tuned so that way you don't miss the action. And I'm coming for the win. Puss.
Yeah, it doesn't say Cobrinha Jr. anywhere. Well, he's getting older. You know, he doesn't want to be known as Cobrinha Jr. forever. Yeah, but when he was little, he's like, couldn't wait to be called Cobrinha Jr. I guess now. My man said, thank you to my coach. He ain't say nothing about his father. Yeah, you don't see the resemblance? Well, Kennedy's a little bit bigger than his dad, though. His dad's supposed to be like a light feather, you know, but he did featherweight. It says, is a black belt dating a white belt like a 30-plus-year-old dating? I think it's worse. It's worse because you got that, what's that difference of, it's like dating in the workplace, basically. I don't want to get into the 30-year-old dating 18-year-old. They could be the same age. It's more the dynamic, power dynamic, Says, bro, I swear they did not say Cobrinha Jr. They did it when he won. Now, they didn't show it. I was looking for it, but I think they said it when he won. I believe I heard it, but like if I go to UFC BJJ, I think they do say it. Let's see. I got a good memory, bro. Don't test my memory over here. Oh, just the imagery.
Dominante. Creo que le va a dar la victoria en vista de los jueces a Kennedy Maciel.
Y un buen torso de cuello para Demir Barreto. Vamos a hacer una pequeña...
Why they got the Spanish version up there?
Siendo dominante.
I don't know why they got the Spanish version up there, guys. I don't know. Maybe they took it down. I don't see it. Maybe it was under BJJ Korea. Let's see. He says, wow, it's worse. Yeah, power dynamic is pretty bad. Kennedy's trying to call out Carlos Enrique, bro. Did you not see what Carlos Enrique did to Isaac? Put your man out, bro. If you guys didn't know, I boycott UFC BJJ as well. Is that the same one?
For dear life.
Yo, Claudia said, don't come back to, I thought I had that on there. Claudia said, you too boring. Where did the Claudia thing go? I had it earlier. I don't know where it is. There's so many stories, bro. You guys know I try to keep up. Can't find it, though. Marley is a cornball. All right. Uh-oh. Super fight, unless you're the same person. Why are you boycotting UFC BJJ? Do you not want the sport to grow? Why do you hate the sport? Are you supporting Dana White? You support Dana White? There you go. I can always trump whatever argument. Because if you support UFC BJJ, you're supporting Dana White. I don't think it's a good organization. And that goes to every facet of the UFC. UFC created slap fight. That alone tells me that they're evil out there. UFC is for sure evil. They created slap fight. Let me find that Claudia thing. I think I sent it to one of my homeboys. I think I sent it to Xavier. Here we go. Oh shit, that's not it. That's not what I clicked on. There you go. Switch back. Apparently, how are they growing the sport? You tell me how they're growing the sport. They said they're growing the sport. UFC continues to lie. They said they were donating money to the Fair Fight Foundation. Craig Jones's foundation. They didn't do that. They said they were giving $2 million, $8 million to grow BJJ. Have you seen the $8 million? Is that all that money going to Mikey? Nah. I'm just saying I think it's good for growing the sport. Are you sure? How's it growing the casual audience? What are they doing to grow the? All they did was put it in the UFC. Maybe you could say that. You could say UFC has a broad reach. If anything, if anything, they put the worst people out there to represent the sport. You think putting Mikey out there is a good representation of the sport and some of these other people? If anything, it's going to put more people off the sport. You watch Mikey Musumeci grapple, that's going to put you off the sport for sure. Because I'm more or less other personality. I think, if they want to grow the sport, do what CGI is doing. Keep it open. Actually market. How UFC growing the sport? They ain't market that thing at all. UFC doesn't market any of their events. They just UFC. What they did, they built this huge platform, and they haven't really grown the platform. I don't think the sport of MMA has really grown, and they're just maintaining it. It's a big investment that they just maintain, continue to squeeze profits out of. They're getting sued left and right. Dana White, he'd be wasting money. He'd be wasting more money than all those fighters make in their whole careers. Every night at the casino. They create a slap fight. There you go. I can't defend. I'm not going to ever defend UFC. They be taking advantage of fighters. And the only time fighters stand up for themselves is when they get kicked out of there or when they on the out. They ain't unionized. They ain't got no pension. They ain't got no mental health. We saw BJ Penn was over there asking for help from Taynor, from the Faridas, from Dana White. They ain't, how much, I wonder how much money they made off BJ Penn and all these other dudes. They don't give a crap about these people. Bro, listen, UFC eat some evil people, bro. I want someone to come on here and defend Dana White. Dana White's mom don't even like him. Dana White's mom, she said she he says, even though the Faridas were mob bosses, yeah. That's true. They still mob bosses, probably. I don't know what we were expecting. Why are we trying to work with these mob people? All they're gonna do is take your money, bro, and put you in these terrible contracts you can't get out of. So that just meant they had a broad reach. And honestly, I think the UFC's reach is kind of is not peaked out. When the UFC peaked is when Conor McGregor was on top. Maybe Adesanya and some of those other people. They ain't got no star power. Who in the UFC is a star that would make casual people want to watch? I don't even watch the UFC anymore. Who in the UFC is a star? Comparable to Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor, Anderson Silva, GSP. They still ain't doing numbers like they did when they had what's the big guy? Brock Lesnar. They still ain't doing numbers like they used to do. They don't care about the pay-per-view model. They don't care about reaching a broad audience. I think for them, they built their platform. UFC BJJ, they just hold it in their basement in the Performance Institute. They don't market. They don't spend no money on marketing. You guys notice that? They don't do it. Dana White be shouting at his cell phone. No microphone or anything. No lighting. So, I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like they really care about the product anymore. They don't care about having any more superstars. They happy. They comfortable. They ain't got no competition. They killed all their competition. Tapatoro made $900K. Is that a lot for the guy that won the belt? How much you get when you win a belt in boxing? We can look that up later. That $900K, that sounds like a lot, right? That sounds like, man, that's a lot of money. Wow, amazing. But to be the champion of the UFC? Now take a champion in soccer. Take a champion in soccer. Take a champion in NFL. Take a champion and MLB take a champion, and anywhere else, any other sport, that ain't crap. They get that in a month. Them soccer players be making that in a month. Cristiano Ronaldo make that in a day. He made $900K in a day. Oh, 900,000 pay-per-view buys. That ain't a million pay-per-view buys. How much they had when Ronda Rousey was on top? How much they had when Brock Lesnar was there? How much did they have when Conor was there? They don't care about the pay-per-view model anymore because they got the streaming. They don't care about pay-per-view. Those are good numbers though, but they don't really care. Workers Crunch said it's true about Dana White's. Yeah, we're gonna talk about. Claudia said that Kennedy's too boring. I mean, Claudia, how's she criticizing a dude? She can't even. I want to see her go out there and fight. She won't even. She can get smacked too. She shouldn't be in charge of nothing, bro. Said it's true about Dana White's mom. It's true, bro. Bro's mom wrote a book about how Dana lied about his entire life and how he would always hang around with mob guys. Yeah. And that's who you want to trust the future of jiu-jitsu to? I mean, it's not like the Gracies were much better either. UFC BJJ 1 and 2 were really, really good, though. So I don't know. I didn't even watch the second one. What match was good? What match? The final? What? Tell me the match that was really good. Tackett versus Hinato. Even then, that was more of a scramble. I mean, that's what the UFC wants. They just want to see scrambles. They don't want to see good jiu-jitsu. So someone like Gordon Ryan probably, maybe he would do okay, but they wouldn't like Gordon Ryan's style out there. You know, Gordon Ryan like to do 20-minute matches. Is Claudia gonna say that Gordon Ryan's boring too? So I'm pretty sure Topuro Ilya is making a few million. He's already rich though, right? Wasn't he already rich? He's just doing this for fun. A few million. Boxers make $100 million. The boxers be making $100 million. UFC fighter make $1 million. Make that make sense. They do the same pay-per-view buys. UFC don't want their fighters making that much money. Workers Crunch, aka Marley, says, for real, UFC BJJ cards are actually very entertaining. Watch it. I ain't watching that. So your one view isn't going to make a difference. Well, I don't care about their profit, but they hit me with copyright strikes, so I ain't going to watch their stuff. You tell me what match was really good. Tell me the exact match that was really good. You're going to say the Mikey match? Was that a good match? What match was really good? Tell me what match was really good. He says, I'm not going to lie. K vs. Tackett is such an overrated match. It's crazy. I do not enjoy Tackett's style. It works. He going to gas you out. The thing is, that style don't last forever. Who did Tackett lose to at the tournament? The only way you can beat Tackett is if you're sharp. Like his brother, his brother be beating him. William Tackett be beating his brother because he got that finesse. He's got the polish, Tackett is good. But he sees that, he can push the pace. It's going to be exciting. That might be what people want to see. But yeah, nobody can say that's good jiu-jitsu. Says Fowler versus Garmo was entertaining. But was it a good match? I mean, entertaining, you could just put some big dude out there and put a small dude in there. There you go. Put Mikey versus Buchecha or Gordon Ryan. That should be entertaining, right? Says no, the Mikey match was terrible. Gabriel has zero no-gi experience since blue belt. Well, you guys defending UFC BJJ, I'm over here saying that it wasn't that good. And they don't even put it at a good time. They put it on Thursday night, knowing full well you got to train on Thursday night. That's Takedown Thursday. You got to train on Thursday. You ain't got time to be watching UFC. You got to work on Friday. It says Will's kind of screwed. There's no 185 at ADCC. Yeah, I mean, what's it, 191? 88 kg is like 191, 194, something like that. That's the weight class I did. And then you gotta do 77, which is 170. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. Let's see what Claudia said. It says Claudia on why Kennedy won't get a UFC BJJ title shot. Sometimes we have athletes that have a lot of good titles and a lot of good competition, but they are not fast enough. They don't bring the pace, and we need for our event today. I had to go to the back and talk to Kennedy Maciel. Like, Kennedy, you are great. You are a world champ, but we need a faster pace from you. He was expecting to fight for the title next, but we have to go back to the lab and think about what we are going to do with him because he needs to move faster for us to continue to bring him back. So nothing about good jiu-jitsu. It's about fast pace, speed. So Tackett style is what they want. But is that the right development for the sport to have a Tackett style? You're gonna get injured with that Tackett style. That Tackett style is not sustainable. And old people, any masters athlete, they can't do that Tackett style. You got to be young, 20 to 22. And them kids be getting injured. Look at the Rotulos. The Rotulo's been getting injured left and right. Tackett gonna start having injuries when he hit 22. So unless you want these athletes getting jacked up all the time, tearing their knees and everything else, this style is not sustainable. It's not good jiu-jitsu. It's entertaining. Entertainment is not good jiu-jitsu. And there should be a balance. You can't have. I want to see really good jiu-jitsu, but we do need a little bit of entertainment in the sport. But we can't go full entertainment to where it becomes WWE, people jumping off the top of the bowl. Is this the right development of the sport? Like, to me, it's almost better that we don't do what does Claudia know? She maybe she has some insights in what the regular people want to see. But when you're in the sport, that's not exactly what you want to see. That's not what I want to see. So, I'm not sure if I like what the UFC is doing to the sport. What they're gonna focus on is not exactly what I want to see. Maybe that's what you guys want to see. You guys support UFC then. I don't want to watch that, so I don't support it. I think CJI is probably a little bit better. Who's number one? A little bit better. I just don't trust you. I don't trust MMA people to kind of run jiu-jitsu. Does that make sense? I don't want to see Claudia having a say in what jiu-jitsu does well, what jiu-jitsu doesn't do well. I don't want Dana White to have a say in what jiu-jitsu should be marketed versus what jiu-jitsu shouldn't be marketed. So that's why I don't support these people. It says Thursday night is crazy. Yeah, Thursday night, bro. I'm training. I got my own routine. I don't want to watch that stuff. Maybe if it was Saturday or Friday, maybe. They didn't put it at a good spot. They're not incorporating it into the UFC when it actually could draw numbers. If they put it on Saturday alongside the UFC or the undercard for the UFC, that would be something different. It says Fowler is the best alive right now. He's very underrated. He's good. He's not the best alive, but he is good. He beat Craig Jones for sure. I like Mason Fowler because he beat that Pat Shigoli kid. That's why I like Mason Fowler. But he still need to. I think he was injured at ADCC or something. Says I kind of hate ADCC and IBJF. So UFC is IBJF. I kind of hate ADCC and IBJF. So is UFC really that bad? I mean, I rather take. I'm more partial to IBJJF because I understand all the rules and people can explain it to me logically why. Okay, you lost because of this, or I interpreted the rules this way. When I do ADCC, I'm like, what are the rules? The last I did the ADCC Open, I was like looking at the scoreboard. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I gotta say, out of all those, who's scoring for the UFC? I have no idea. Some MMA dude scoring your match. You want an MMA dude that doesn't do jiu-jitsu scoring your match? I don't. ADCC, the rules kind of crazy. Haven't really been updated too much. I think IBJF has the best reffing and the best rule set as far as like this is illegal, that's possible, you can't do that. I can argue it's like knowing the law. When you compete under IBJF, you know the rules. Okay, I got 20 seconds for this to happen. He can say that. Okay, they took that away because of this. Like you can have a logical breakdown of the points in IBJF and the scoring. I do ADCC. I'm like, that's not a point? I swept the dude. I'm like, that's not a sweep? You take someone down, that's not a takedown. Okay, I guess I didn't get a takedown. The interpretation of the rules is crazy. And UFC, I have no clue what the rules are. Nobody knows what the rules are. Who are the referees? Who's scoring? You got Claudia scoring your match. She said you slow, so you lost the match because you slow, even though you controlled the whole match. Yeah. It says Fowler versus Craig at Submission Underground is peak BJJ. Well, it was EBI rules, but yeah. We can get into that argument another day. EBI rules. They should at least give us Friday over Slap. Yeah, just get rid of Slap and put UFC BJJ on a Friday or Saturday. I might watch that. Maybe even a Sunday. It said Pashagoli is goated. Is it? That's who they needed for UFC BJJ. Put Pashagoli on there. Nobody walking afterwards. It says, yeah, ADCC is way less consistent. The refereeing can be kind of harsh. And a lot of times you don't understand why. I could watch an ADCC match. I'm like, I don't understand why the rules were that way. And they only have one referee at those ADCC Opens, so I'm not sure. Everybody, ADCC crazy because everybody got to go to the rules meeting. And nobody, even people that won ADCC doesn't know the rules. IBJF, nobody, you don't have to go to a rules meeting. You know the rules. You go online and figure out the rules, you're good. UFC BJJ, Claudia over there criticizing you. Claudia ain't got 1% of the jiu-jitsu that Kennedy does. Yeah, she's in charge. She tells him what he's not doing right. That's a shame. ADC is way less inconsistent. Way more, I mean. Yeah, I got what you meant. It says, I don't like EBI rules either, but the match itself is really good. The issue is that people game the system. EBI, the strategy is stall until overtime and then beat the person in overtime. So that's just how it goes. Humans are going to strategize and figure out the best way to win or not lose. Marley says, being from New Jersey is the ADC's equivalent of being Brazilian in IBJF. Yeah, it does help. It does help being from New Jersey, We got Danielson Pimenta. It's cool to see the older guys out here. These guys be killing it. You don't see them. Maybe Masters 4 or 5, but these guys are all really good. Look at that jiu-jitsu, man. That's good jiu-jitsu. That's what I want. I just want to see good jiu-jitsu. I don't want to see influencers out there that shouldn't be out there. I don't want to see this crappy jiu-jitsu that the UFC wants us to see. I just want to see good jiu-jitsu. I want to see the best athletes out there. I don't want to see people that shouldn't be out there. I want to see people that dedicated their lives to this, and this is what they want to do. This is what they're passionate about.
Tryna ride on my back like a Mustang. I gotta watch my races.
Kingsway, they kind of got the same mat color as Fionn. Doesn't Fionn have that color? That kind of, is that the Kodokan green tatami? I'm not the biggest fan of that mat, but it's pretty popular. The mat does look good. I'm not gonna lie, the mat does look good, and they got the brown on the side. They copying Fionn, bro. That's CGI 3, bro. Craig versus Jake Paul. It should be boxing. You think Craig could do boxing? He's got the reach for it. Kingsway, notice they're not filming the wall with all the advertisements on it. You see that side? Yeah, that side I don't like. Shout out to my man Taza, man. Taza, like, he don't get no respect. Everybody be hating on him, but he's consistent. He more consistent than Craig, Gordon Ryan, John Carlo. He consistent. And you know what? He had a good match at he had a really good match at BJJ Stars. Shout out to Taza, man. He just grind. You guys don't hear Taza talking any crap. He don't be starting nothing. He just go out there and compete. He a true martial artist, bro. He not on social media. He just training. He just training. That's something we miss out on nowadays. Said your karate dojo got the same matte color. Well, that's the standard color, bro. They ain't got that brown on there though. That brown and black though. That does look good. They kind of stole that from Fionn, I believe. Fionn had that color. Might be a filter on there too. London Grapple. I got London Grapple, another school in London. I like that vibe though. I mean, all you need is some mats, guys, and some good people, man. As long as you got that, you can do well. You don't need all this fancy stuff. I mean, make sure you have a shower and a water fountain. You good. On says, talk about how they won't even put Taza on Kingsway CGI team. Well, I think they didn't put Jason Off on there either. Well, they got Mika. They said they wanted to win. Taza's good, man. If he keeps going, I think he can really become one of the best. He is already one of the best out there, but I think just a little bit more consistency from him. Like the Taza that I saw at BJJ Stars was really good. He beat some really good guys. He beat Jonatas Gracie and looked really good doing it. So I think people are too quick to give up. People want that Moneyberg. They want to do it like Moneyberg, but the journey, isn't that what martial arts is about, guys? The journey. It's not about the shortcuts. It's about the journey.
It's like there's so many hot people like Joseph Chin, Elijah Dort.
Your boy Tackett said there's so many hot people in jiu-jitsu, so he didn't say pause or no Diddy. So what the heck, bro?
Like Mika, Cade, Ty. There's a lot of other people as well, but all these guys I want to have a rematch with and have a match with. It'd be super cool to have a rematch of Cade. Like, he's super hot, he's super good and active right now, in the sport, and I think it would be really cool to me to challenge myself to that degree and seek a victory over him, and I would love that, But it's if they're willing to come over. But there's rules, regulations between promotions, so there's no hard feelings if not. But I would love to personally. It would mean I would like to scrap,
What's crazy to me? Yeah, he didn't say any of that. What's crazy to me is that these guys will say, "I want to fight the best competition. I want to fight the best guys in the world." But then they go to these moats, these castles, the UFC, one championship. And then there's so many barriers for the other guys to fight them. So now Cade is he's over there at one championship. There might be some issues for him to get to UFC, UFC BJJ, or, Taki can't go from UFC BJJ to one championship. So to me, it's kind of crazy that they get into these situations where they want to fight the best people, but then they kind of seclude themselves away so the best people can't get to them anymore. We saw Mikey do this. He kept saying that people didn't want to fight him, even though, people had to fly all the way to Thailand the day before, beat jet lag, cut all this weight. So there's so many hurdles just to fight these people. And then they complain about how they can't get the matches and people are ducking them. I mean, I see the downside to what these guys are doing. So they make a little bit of money, but at the end of the day, their legacy, I think, it's not tarnished, but they're kind of limiting themselves. And what did Craig Jones say? He said, "Man, don't sign these contracts. Don't become exclusive to one entity. Keep your options open. I'm gonna grow this thing, and next year it might be $2 million. I assure you, these guys gonna look stupid when somebody else makes $2 million and they over there getting $10,000, $15,000. And then Claudia says, "Well, you too slow. All right, Tackett. We didn't like your performance. We're gonna cut you now." You guys, did you know that's what happened to the guy that fought Buchecha? He says, "Hey, 2025, get the..." No breaks over here, bro. No breaks over here. If you don't say pause or no Diddy. Why was he talking about how hot people were? How hot those other dudes were anyway? The guy that fought UFC will cut you, bro. What's the name of the guy that fought Buchecha? I can't remember the guy's name. Let's see. What was that guy's name? Bundy? Oh, there's a guy's name. Right? Martin Bundy. Yeah, he got cut from the UFC. You could win in the UFC and they still cut you. Martin Bundy. Yo, Buchecha, you lost to a blue belt? Dang, Buchecha, that's bad, bro. He says, "Hustle until your idols become your rivals. It was a huge honor to share an octagon with BJJ legend Marcus Buchecha Almeida. I had a chance to roll with him around 12 years ago before Abu Dhabi World Pro. And last weekend, we met again at UFC Abu Dhabi, fighting each other. Big dream, dream big and never stop. Thank you, Marcus, for the experience. Wish you all the best." God dang, Buchecha. Oh, that guy was huge. That guy was big. Buchecha need to cut some weight or something, bro. You can't be fighting those big dudes. Look at my man Buchecha look jacked up. Look at my man got two-pieced. God, dog. Thank you. Whenever somebody comes up to me and they're like, they're a fan of mine and I'm about to fight them, they about to go hard. They about to rip my leg off for sure. Let's see if I can find it. Ooh. Said they cut him because, let's be honest, he looks a bit chubby. UFC body shaming. We don't support body shaming on this channel. We're a family show. Let's see. Can you guys see that? It looks really weird on my screen. Oh, because it's gray. It says, very sad. Tom Aspinall's training partner reveals brutal reason behind cut from Dana White's roster after win. Says Boudet has been signed to the promotion since he knocked out Lorenzo Hood in 2021 as part of Dana White's Contender Series. While his initial UFC contract ended when he fought Josh Parisian, Boudet had signed a further 4-fight deal with the promotion following his win. The Slovak training with Tom Aspinall following his only loss to Shamil Gaziev in 2023, who then helped him make improvements to become a more well-rounded MMA fighter. And the recently crowned new heavyweight champion even ruled out fighting Boudet due to their friendship. After celebrating his third consecutive win against Marcus Buchecha in July, he found out his contract would not be renewed for a second time. It was a big blow for the in-form heavyweight, who has now opened up on exactly what went wrong before they even reached the negotiation table. He explained on the Ariel Helwani show, "I found out July 30th. I got a call from my manager to say the UFC will not be extending the contract with us. So it was pretty tough. I was very upset and very sad because I love the UFC, and I was hoping to get re-signed. I was sad about the situation. There were no negotiations. I also want to make it clear I wasn't asking for more money I wasn't asking for more money. If anything, I was saying I could just wait for a match to come up." It says, "I didn't ask for anything. The only thing was to be re-signed." When asked if he knew the reason behind White's decision to drop him from the roster, the 16-2 fighter shared his understanding of the situation. He says, with Boudet typically winning his fights via decision, he explained that the UFC were piling on the pressure to deliver more highlight reel stoppages to boost his profile. Surprise, surprise. Doesn't that sound like what they're going to do to the UFC BJJ? They're going to keep trying to change people's styles to make it more marketable, even if it means you got to take more risks and maybe potentially get knocked out or get tapped out. He says, "The only thing I was told was that they don't have any fights for me right now, so they will not extend my contract." What do you mean? "I think there are more reasons behind that. The main reason is that some of my fights weren't so attractive for the eyes of the fan." That's what Claudia said to Kennedy. "But I do everything to secure the win. That was the main problem. I didn't have finishes in the fight." Says, what's next for Martin Boudet? Now that the dust has settled from receiving the news, Boudet has begun to consider the next moves of his career. He explained, "I'm a little bit better now. I have some offers from other promotions." There's really no promotions for him. He's got to go PFL, really, from all around the world. There are about 3 different organizations in MMA right now. PFL, UFC, one championship. One championship going through it right now. PFL, who knows what PFL is going to do? UFC, they just kicked you out. "I'm thinking about what's next for me and will decide in the near future." Prior to signing with the UFC, Boudet had fought under the Octagon banner until 2021, where he held the heavyweight title. There have also been interest from the PFL in acquiring his services, and given his recent winning streak, he will be in demand. And the 33-year-old could be keen on returning to his roots to boost his chances of being brought back to the UFC. Boudet said, "I like the interest from PFL, also Octagon MMA, where I was champion before UFC. They're doing incredible things and #1 in Europe right now. Expanding big, doing stadiums, big promotions, and good for them." So, this is what you guys want. When you support UFC, you're supporting this kind of entity that'll just cut people. He won his fight. He won his fight against Buchecha, and they cut him regardless. So, Dana White wasn't lying when he said this is the fight business. And you would think this is about winning fights. It's not about winning fights. It's about looking like you win fights. It's about how you win the fights. It's no different than WWE. So that's what you guys, when you support the UFC, that's what you're supporting. You're supporting the WWE-ification of jiu-jitsu. Is that the jiu-jitsu you want to see? You want to see this fake jiu-jitsu? You're going to have all these influencers over here breaking their neck. That's what you guys want to see. You support that. I'm not going to support that. I'm going to support CJI, who's #1, BJJ Stars, and everything else besides UFC. Polaris, even though they're with UFC Fight Pass.
Or you can call it the Wagner choke. By popular demand, I'm going to show you the choke I hit this weekend on Kit. Even though I didn't finish it, it got real tight. I had him pretty nailed down and he was able to escape, and I'll explain why I feel like he escaped and why he was able to defend it. We're here inside the closed guard. I want to make sure I have his posture down. So I create a little bit of an angle, and I get this 4-finger grip here, and I clamp my elbow in the back of the head. Open up the space, hand inside, 4 fingers in, knee high, and now here, I'm not squeezing the windpipe, I'm just clamping it, and I'm using this guy to close the elbow down. All right, and I feel like when I did this to Kit, I was too flat here, and he was able to push away with his hands like this to create the space. Because I wasn't on my side like this, here, it would be harder for Rodrigo to do the same thing. Look, look. All right, and I feel like that's where the mistake was making, is that this knee and elbow wasn't connected, and that killed the move. Call it the crescent choke, or you can call it the Wagner choke.
Again, you guys support that kind of, support that. You support all the sales and the spectacle, and you'll see what happens to jiu-jitsu in the future. You keep supporting that kind of jiu-jitsu, you're gonna get nothing but tackets out there. Is that what you want to see? Or do you want to see the best jiu-jitsu? Because under that metric, you can't have a Tynan or Gordon Ryan or some of these other styles, you know. I don't think you want the UFC to be in charge of jiu-jitsu. I don't want MMA people being in charge of jiu-jitsu. If that's what you want, you support UFC, and we see what happens to all the fights moving forward. Danny Choppa says, no wonder why when I do decide to watch a UFC card, it's not through normal means. Let's put it that way. Yo. But even then, the UFC has me fatigued after the past few years. Yeah, I missed the good old days when, you know, it was kind of like a event to watch the UFC. It was an event. It was like, oh man, I can't wait to watch the UFC. You know, those cards were so good back in the day. And let's be honest, the fighters they didn't care if they lived or died back then. You know, BJ Penn, Chris Lieben, Forrest Griffin, Chuck Liddell, them dudes out there, woo! UFC wish they could have fights like that. They want those days back. All the CTE for everybody. I mean, we live in a sport where you could win and you still lose. The dude that beat Puchecha, he won the match and then he got cut the next day. So if that's what you want to support, you go ahead and support UFC. And when they mess up jiu-jitsu, don't come whining to me on my channel about, oh, I shouldn't have supported them. They were wrong. Dana White was evil. I've been telling you Dana White's evil. His mom told you he was evil. But that's what you guys want to support. You do it. I don't have to support that. I'm going to support CJI. This Kid Dell move, this Wagner Hosha move, I don't know about that, bro. I'm probably going to go till 2. We got the Mendez brothers. This is boring compared considered by some of you guys. This is considered boring by some of you guys.
And coming on top here. You guys can go with the butterfly, set up the axe guard, and bring the leg across. Look how I have the axe here. Now start getting closer, hugging the hip, putting his back on the mat, and coming on top here. You guys can go with the butterfly, set up the axe guard, and bring the leg across. Look how I have the axe here. Now start getting closer, hugging the hip, putting his back on the mat, and coming on top here. You guys can.
Would you guys rather see Tackett? Would you rather see Tackett or Rafa Mendez grappling? I wonder. We got Lucas over here. He's working with. Is that his daughter?
Big job. Team off here.
My man Lucas going through it that day. Lucas, listen, I don't. You guys always should open up a school. Look how tired Lucas looks. I'm tired looking at him. Lucas only got 4 stripes. 3 stripes? He should have more stripes than that, bro. I think I got 3 stripes, Lucas. Lucas been training a lot longer than me. 2008. Yeah, I think he got a couple years to get the next stripe or something. I don't know. Woo, look at Lucas. He looked a little tired. I know I'd be tired, bro, when I used to teach kids.
Open is August 4th, and we are back with another edition of the Grappling Bulletin, going over everything that's going on in the world of jiu-jitsu. We have to start with the ADCC World Championships. Major announcement are going to be back on Flow Grappling, going down in Krakow, Poland, September 12th through the 13th. It's going to be enormous. You can check out all of that live on Flow Grappling. UFC BJJ 2 happened. Andrew Tackett and Mason Fowler were successful in the championship bouts. If you want to find out more, you can find more information in the article right now. PGF Season 8 continues to roll. There have been 2 of the 5 weeks of the regular season. Right now, Christos Papadelos and Landon Elmore sit in the top 2 spots, but there's a lot of action left to go. You can catch it all Wednesday nights on YouTube. Congratulations to the young couple. Mika Galvao and Amit Allure are officially engaged. They announced it on Instagram. Congratulations to the high-achieving grappling super couple. It is official that Helena Cravar is in for Nogi Pans in the black belt medium heavy division. Helena has won at every belt level at the IBJJF, and she continues to look for success now as a black belt. The CBJJ has announced they're going to hold their first Kids Nogi Brazilian Championship going down September 20th through the 21st. That information is in the Grappling Bulletin with a heck of a lot more. Guys, check it out in the link in bio. My name is Joe Gilpin. We'll be back next week. What's up, guys? This is Joe Gilpin.
Yo, Flow Grappling copying me. Except I do mine about 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours now. They copying me. That's fine though. You guys do whatever you want to do. It's freestyle on here. Danny Chopper says, I can't wait to get back into the gi. No gi for a month straight is fun, but I miss the X chokes. Yeah, get back. Do both like me, bro. I like Gilpin. Is he ripping off my rankings on TikTok? Is that, oh, you do rankings on TikTok? It's all good, bro. We ain't, nothing's copyrighted. You know, nothing's copyrighted over here. We just do whatever you can. And it's more about creating your community, you know, and being consistent. If these guys do the video like IBJF does a video like once every week or 2 on updates, but is that consistent? Maybe. But I just, for me, consistency, build your community, and enjoy. I enjoy doing this stuff.
Oh! Here in the false sweep, guys are really annoying, right? They're always hiding this hook, always trying to get this leg. I'm going to open and expose this heel. And the way I do that, I just catch it with either hand, and I open my leg, right? Exposing the heel. Then I'm going to begin to roll through. As I roll through, I'm going to reach for the heel. And while I do that, I'm stuffing it in my armpit already. I like this reverse figure 4 grip or the regular grip, either way. Now, if I just start to hip in here, people can roll. So I need to secure this far hip. Once I secure this far hip, I have the heel hook.
So that's a Junie lock, basically. You know, one issue I have with all the new grapplers, they see the move on TikTok or Instagram. They don't know the history of the move. It was really bad because, you know, Adele, she didn't know who Frank Mir was. I was like, you've been doing the mirror lock this whole time, girl. You don't know who Frank Mir is? This dude's over here doing the Junie lock, which is already a move. All that stuff he's showing has already been out. Yeah, it's a cool move. I have not been following at all the PGF. Again, I don't get paid to follow these guys. I've covered a couple stories a little bit, but
nice play by JJ. He waited on the opening of attack, and watch out for this arm lock on the far side here. Mash trying to make a play for this arm bar. He could get that. Oh! Go, JJ surviving. Matt Mash has got him deep. Oh, Mash!
Wow. With the break, Matt Mash getting it done. 3 points for him.
PGF's kind of, you know, UFC BJJ puts like the work. They don't match up the matches aren't good matchups. You know, dude that never did no-gi versus guy that all he does is heel hooks. PGF is a lot of people that shouldn't be out there grappling. It looks like some of you guys out there grappling. But it is kind of exciting. They get more submissions. But a lot of these guys aren't good. I'm sorry. Jed Thompson is pretty good. But a lot of those guys, you're like, oh. You guys could be some of those dudes on there. And then these guys are going to be messed up because this is 13 weeks of getting your arm and leg pulled on. Says the TikTok real learners make me angry just a little bit, especially when they cry it doesn't work. That's crazy. That's probably how a lot of people are learning jiu-jitsu nowadays, based off Instagram and YouTube. It's pretty funny.
It's super important to me that this is the professional grappling federation, right? I want us to set the standard for the rest of jiu-jitsu.
And guess what the winning team gets at the end of the season?
stem cells, yo. So we're here to make that as part of the process.
Oh, dang. He said after the season, when you're jacked up, don't worry, we got the stem cells. Sponsored by me.
As you're young, I'll get another chance. I'll get another chance. You're not going to get that many chances in this life. This is one of them. Probably the biggest one you'll ever have. Pull the trigger. Don't hesitate. Be confident. Believe. I don't give a fuck who's across from you. Huh? They're nothing. You're better than them. You believe it in your heart. In your heart, you know they're better than them. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. How the fuck would you be here if you didn't believe it?
Unbelievable. JJ trying to grab a toe hold. He got it. Oh my goodness. JJ Bowers out of nowhere. Hoffa rolling through. They crank. Hoffa again.
Dude, Misty. What a night.
And I understand what you're saying, Josiah. Josiah says he likes it. It is good. The thing is, most of those guys, they're not going to be... And I understand PGF serves a role. Most of those guys aren't going to be in ADCC. They're not going to be on Who's Number One. Look at Ryan Aiken. He won that PGF. Where's Ryan Aiken? Right here. He won PGF, and he's like, let me go get
Ryan Aiken.
He's like, let me go to the real matches now. So maybe PGF can serve as like the proving ground. Maybe. I mean, not if you want to have a long career. You're gonna take a lot of injuries, but maybe PGF can be a proving ground of sorts. B or C league. No shout. Nope. I'm going to be honest, PGF. Some of them dudes shouldn't be out there. You guys, you put them out there. But look like Ryan Aiken, he's over there trying to get on Who's Number One, Professional Grappling League. No, Marley, you're my man bipolar. He got multiple personalities. But even Aiken's over there trying to get on Who's Number One and all this other stuff. So, honestly, I like PGF, but Josiah, what about those injuries, huh? You think anybody going to survive 13 weeks of heel hooks? They all getting surgery. You getting surgery. I'm getting surgery. Everybody getting surgery over there. But yeah, shout out to these guys. That's what they want to do.
This guy the only one with a nickname in the whole PGF season 8. Come on.
There ain't no better nickname.
I tell you what, the Big Slime's a real candidate. Went for $1,600 in the draft, looking like a steal.
We're in first place again, dog. No investors, no crazy suits on our team, just me coaching, and we're in first place again. And hopefully we get another 4 right here. Let's go.
He said I'm undiagnosed. I can't stand PGF. I never know what's going on with their stupid draft system. All I know is that they be giving $50 for some of these guys. The issue with PGF too, you're gonna get people that train for a year or two, a little bit less than Moneyberg. They're gonna go out there and try to make a name for themselves, which it's not. I want to say it's wrong, but you guys got to develop some skills. I think people want to get right into the professional sphere of it, but like they didn't take the time to develop, especially in Nogi. You see that more in Nogi. So I think some of these guys will be tough, but like it's hard to explain when you see the Mika Galvals, you see the Rotulos, you see the Tynans. Think about the Mendez brothers' kids. The Mendez brothers' kids, like their kids. Like their foundation is so strong. I assure you, those kids at AOJ are more technical than these guys. Like they spend so much time on the technique, and then once those kids hit puberty and they're ready, bro, man, it's impossible to beat those kids. I'm not saying these guys won't be really good, but I can see when someone's been training for a long time and really developed their basics and fundamentals. And Andy Varela is good too. He lost to Tackett as well, though. Ain't none of those guys beat Tackett. Canuto didn't beat Tackett. Varela didn't beat Tackett. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I'm a boomer. I'm old school. I believe in take your time, rise through the ranks. That's kind of like the Alliance way. That's kind of the Brazilian way. You go through the ranks, build yourself up, and then when you're ready, when you got the right knowledge, right technique, then you go out there and fight these dudes. Otherwise, you just go out there, you're just gonna get your leg destroyed. You're gonna be burned out. You made $50 and you destroyed your ACL. We got Keegan Bassett over here. He happy, bro. He just won the U17 under 17 World Championship.
We're world champs! Best dad in the world! Let's go! Heavy!
How old is that kid? That kid can't be 13. Shout out to Keegan, though. Well, 45 kilograms. You can't be too old making 45 kilograms. But that's amazing, man. You don't really see that in jiu-jitsu as much, especially, those wrestlers, they're not thinking about money, bro. They out there, they just want to they love their sport. As the sport becomes more about money, we do need money in the sport, but it shouldn't be only about money, to me. But look at that. That kid ain't out there for money. He out there for glory. He can celebrate having that world championship for the rest of his life, under 17. So yeah, I always push your kids to do wrestling. I think it's better for the youth than jiu-jitsu. Because look at the heroes in jiu-jitsu. It's Gordon Ryan, Craig Jones, Moneyberg. What the heck is going on? But look at wrestling. You got Jordan Burroughs, Kyle Dake, David Taylor, Kennedy Blake. Some wholesome people. I'm not saying everybody in wrestling is wholesome, but they got a lot more wholesome people in wrestling that give back to the community. When's the last time you saw a jiu-jitsu person give back to the community, helping people, helping the kids without profit? Them coaches be running those camps. They do have to pay for the camp, but they ain't really profiting. Most of those wrestling coaches ain't profiting. They just do it because they love wrestling, and it's in their blood. Can't say that about jiu-jitsu. They just care about money in jiu-jitsu. Says, I regretted learning judo as a kid. I should have learned wrestling. Well, no, judo was good too. You could have become J-Flow, bro. We got Hassim over here. He's not looking happy, even though he got silver medal. He says, this past weekend in Al Ain for AJP Tour, Abu Dhabi Grappling World Championship, finished with silver medal. Thank you for the opportunity and my squad for the continued support. So I believe Hassim moved. He's in the Middle East. He moved from B team to the Middle East. So he went from like Detroit to Austin, Texas to Middle East. So, and he's from Japan. So he got a lot going on. Kyle Snyder. Well, I did that on purpose. I skipped Kyle Snyder. He's not a role model. My man got caught with his pants down and singlet out. So he ain't no role model. We got some people in Eric Munez, Marcelo Garcia, Jansen Gomez, even the guys, even the AOJ team I don't really care for. He Tynan, Cole, they ain't doing nothing but going to Bible study and teaching kids. Everybody at Autos, they go to Bible study. I'm not saying they do some other stuff too, but they be going, at least they go to Bible study. You got some wholesome people in jiu-jitsu, but they also dirty though. I'm not saying the wrestlers are clean, but at least they not popping on USADA left and right. My jiu-jitsu people, they be popping, they be talking about all their vitamin usage. Most of them jiu-jitsu people couldn't win without them vitamins. I'm not. Well, the wrestling too. Wrestling can be dirty as well. He says, nah, judo messed up my back and my neck, and it's a miracle I didn't have a broken leg or broken ribs. Yeah, judo. There we go. Judo. Talking about judo. Got J-Flow.
Inside trippage. Woo! Beautiful. Let's go. Not bad. Let's do it. We got this. Nice. Nice. Give it up.
Kennedy Blades, I only watch for her wrestling, her suplex. I'm face blind. I can't see her face. Says Marley says, I'm devastated with when she posted her boyfriend. She got a boyfriend? And it's not me? Couldn't be. I like my wrestling crew. They do a lot better than the jiu-jitsu people, except for Carter Srirachi and Kyle Snyder and Aaron Brooks. If you're from Penn State, all right, I'm not gonna cover you. Marley, you'll have her one. Nah, bro, you're gonna have to fight me. You're gonna have to fight me, bro. Come on, bro. Come at me. No Diddy. See what I did there, Tackett?
It's not a wrestling related story. We're down at the Georgia camp. They do like a camp at Georgia every year. We were freshmen. Me and Shakur thought it would be funny to tabletop Coach Kale. You know what a tabletop is? Like where
you get on all fours behind him.
Yeah. So I don't remember who did what. I think Shakur got on all fours behind Coach Kale, and I pushed Coach Kale over Shakur, and he was so mad. He was so mad, and I didn't even think about it as like a sign of disrespect, but like, yeah, because he was always goofing around with us and stuff, but like at the same time, he's our head coach. Like we can't just do stuff like that. So I had to go back and apologize that night, and he was forgiving.
That's good.
Yeah. Coach Kale will wrestle like 10 matches in a day. Like we used to do match days, and he would just wrestle like match after match. And he'll never turn down like a challenge. If anybody like asks him to wrestle, he'll just wrestle with them. So it's I think that's pretty cool.
Why don't you challenge him, JD?
Yeah,
Kale, he won't turn it down.
He won't turn it down.
All right, next time I'm in the room.
Yep.
Right, there you go.
I'll challenge him.
My favorite story with Coach Kale is not a wrestling related story.
Jason Off's supposed to be wrestling at he can do CGI anyway. He's got to wrestle at Real American Freestyle RAF. RIP the Hulk Hogan. That was his baby project, his passion project. Alongside Real American Beer, RAB. Man, who else got a live stream on jiu-jitsu like me, bro? Nobody can do this. Nobody can talk for 3 hours straight about jiu-jitsu like I can.
Because he's my friend, but I think he's gonna have like a Lockie Giles, Craig Jones.
He's forced it off balance, and he's effectively getting on a sweep there.
Yeah. Foreshadowing.
Yes.
I'm not just saying it because he's my friend, but I think he's gonna have like a Lockie Giles, Craig Jones.
He's forced it off balance, and he's effectively getting on a sweep there.
Yeah, that was a big upset. I mean, Victor Hugo, for being as big as he is, I mean, if God gave me that body, I would be tearing everybody up. No Diddy. I'd be beating everybody up. Got Shohei Ono. Josiah said he's not doing judo, but judo is a good base. You just gotta train properly and be safe with it. I heard the Undertaker is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Is it true? I don't know. Possibly. We do have a governing body, but anybody, if Moneybird can get his black belt, anybody can. Even you guys on here. Just send me a check for $10,000. You can get your black belt today.
So my partner's turning his knee inside to prevent the Aoki lock. I pull the foot high in the armpit, tuck my elbow down to my ribs, internally rotate and pull, get my tap. All right, guys.
That's Wojcik. Some people are just really good at the ankle lock, Think of Kyle Terra. Think of Kavaka. Think of Mikey. Some people are just really good at the ankle lock. And all these guys are sponsored by Alione. I heard, I don't know if he's a black belt. I never tried the Alione stuff, but maybe it's good. You might have to try it out. Let me know. Not sure where they're made out of. Sure, somewhere out of Asia, somewhere. Says, nah, judo messed up my back and my neck getting slammed. Well, you got to do it with a crash pad.
Some helpful, some harmful. You're drowning in information, but starving for structure. All right, you're probably wondering who this is and why this face looks familiar. Well, let's see. Best-selling jiu-jitsu book on Amazon, Jocko podcast guest, CJI judge. Enough foreplay. Let's get to why you're still here. You've got the knowledge, you've bought the instructionals, but when it's time to roll, nothing play. That's why we created the complete No-Gi manual, a system that finally makes your existing knowledge work. Break through those plateaus, transform theory into execution, stop collecting moves, and start hitting them. With crystal clear instruction, interactive mind maps, and direct coaching, you'll finally bridge the gap between knowing and doing.
Shout out to Miha. He's a judo black belt too. I believe he's at Legion. I heard Taker is a black belt. I don't know if it's true or not.
Has been the one move that I've always been able to rely on ever since I was a kid. So that's just, it's just been in me.
So tell me a little bit about your judo, like righty, lefty, Uchimata. How do you like to set up your stop? What does that look like?
Okay, one thing's for sure, my Seoi nugget has always been very bad. So like I've never been able to rely on my rotational ability, but Uchimata and like my ability to like lift my legs have always been my go-to. So all of my moves surround my Uchimata, meaning setups going forward, the Ochigari would go directly into my Uchimata. Moving backwards like towards me, I could also do Uchimata from that angle. I could do it spinning, I could do it from any grip. I think it just goes to show that I have so much variety within that one move rather than a lot of variety amongst many different moves.
All right, guys, I got like 10, 13 minutes. I'm going to zoom through. Let's get to, we were just on Instagram all day. One of our main stories for today, we actually need to look this guy up too and see if we can find him. It says 58-year-old BJJ instructor Claudio. Let me move my head over. Claudinho Coib, found dead in Gracie Barra Academy. A wave of sadness swept through the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community on Friday, August 1st, so a couple days ago, with the sudden passing of Professor Claudio, known as Claudinho. The 58-year-old black belt was found lifeless inside the Gracie Barra Academy in Araucaria, I can't say it, Brazil. According to students, Claudinho was expected to teach an early afternoon class as usual. When he stopped responding to messages concerned colleagues went to the academy and discovered him unresponsive in the break room. Let me refresh this real fast. Emergency services were called but could not confirm his passing. While the official cause of death is pending results from the police investigations, initial reports point to a sudden cardiac arrest, and there are no signs of violence at the scene. Claudio was a third-degree black belt and had dedicated over a decade of his life to teaching at Gracie Barra. More than just a teacher, it is said that he was a mentor, role model, and a pillar of his local community. He played a key role in various social initiatives, helped students with all walks of life earn their belts, and extended his knowledge of self-defense to specialized units in the Brazilian military police. So it's pretty sad. I don't know if we can find anything about him. He was older, and that's that time period. That's when you got to be careful, get older. I always tell you guys, take care of your health. I got to take my own advice too. Let's see if we can find anything on him real quick. We were gonna watch the Gable Stevenson thing, but we kind of running out of time. Who else can talk about jiu-jitsu for 3 hours, bro? You guys let me know who can talk about jiu-jitsu for 3 hours. I don't know if I can find anything on him. I don't think I can. What is this? Bro, these guys make so much more money than me. It's crazy. These guys make... I'm going to go back to Claudio, but God dog, these guys make more money than me. Jesus. They might make some more money than some of you guys. Let's watch this real fast.
And I just got up 4:45. I get everything ready. I bring everything downstairs. I'm packing all my gifts for the day. Usually I leave around like 5:30 from the house, and I gotta have everything with me because I only come back around, noon or 1 p.m. Feels good. Feels good to be awake and doing, my first 2-3 sessions a day is while everybody's sleeping. So feels like it puts your head. The people that are there now early in the morning are the ones that are really chasing after, and nothing comes really easy in this life. And if it does come easy, it's not worth it. Meg, let's go champ. This is another one of my sons. He comes to my house and then we drive to the gym. Right now it's 5 a.m.
Bro, these guys make so much money. Guys, they make way more money than me. You can say they're better at me than jiu-jitsu. I want to see USADA. USADA ain't really testing them like they need to, but they make way more money than me. It's not even in the same universe. I'm in the basement. I ain't driving no Porsche. I'm in the basement. I'm driving Toyota. Yo, but listen, that Toyota gonna survive longer than that Porsche, I assure you. God, dog, these guys make some money. God, dog. Woo! I'm broke. Moneyberg was right. I'm broke. I better shut up. He says, since when could BJJ guys afford Porsches? Someone says, why do you care? I know guys that train jiu-jitsu that drive Corvettes and Lambos. No. He didn't say people that train jiu-jitsu. He said coach people that do coach jiu-jitsu. Tynan probably 1% of jiu-jitsu people, guys. Most jiu-jitsu people ain't driving no Porsche. They can't afford that place in California. They living on the floor, the couch. But you don't know what sacrifices that it takes to get to that point, He might have to sacrifice 20, 30 years. So in that regard, he should enjoy that life because he's not gonna have as much life as some of us. He's not here for a long time. He here for a good time. So it says you can afford anything when you have a rich friends and family. Blood, sweat, and respect. First two you give, last one you earn. Dedication. Who is this? Where is this video from? Tynan Dauber. Yeah, check out the new guard that came out last year. God, dog. Some people got life, bro. Who? His voice ain't deep. Man, these guys doing it, bro. I'm broke. I ain't got no world championships, so I'm cooked. Guys. But I'm happy with what I've done and trying to do. I ain't got nothing to be ashamed of. I ain't been doing nothing. I ain't been using nothing I wasn't supposed to use. I didn't lie and cheat on whatever test I was taking. Instructional money. I don't know where that money's coming from, but he got it. I ain't balling like that, guys. I'm over here in the basement. I'm in the basement with my bronze medals. When you only get that when you get the gold medal. But it's all good, everybody's living a different life. He's living his life. I'm living mine. I'm happy with my life, Good friends, good family. And, some of the stuff these guys got to do to become champion, I ain't going to do. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. Let's find this guy. I can't find this guy. Claudio. Maybe is it on his Instagram? Claudio Coy. I can't find anything on YouTube about him, but yeah, I can't find him on YouTube. But they have Claudia on here. I want to see Claudia grapple. I want to see how she can talk about. Did she ever compete? Yeah, I want to see if she ever competed. Oh, she trained at Cabrinhas. So she actually knew Kennedy. Knew of Kennedy, at least. Ah, shoot. Let's watch her match, bro. Let's watch her match. I want to see what she's working with. Let's watch the easy match, though. I want to see who she is to be talking about anybody. So I believe it's Claudia in the Blackie. So we're gonna break down her match. I want to see if she got any skills to talk about. Not the best match. You know, I can't really tell from one match. It's not the best match, so. I mean, Kennedy did better than that, though, right? This was 12 years ago, and I think she's more of an MMA fighter, so it just is what it is. It says teen restaurant worker uses jiu-jitsu to defend himself. Let's see. Where's the thing at? Where's the clip at? Can we see it? I'm trying to see. I don't see nothing. Is this it?
For a costly repair again.
They covered a $14,000 engine replacement.
Call right now.
God, I was watching a commercial. I'm sorry, people.
Off any plan. Call now.
The guy's watching a commercial.
Police are looking for the man who attacked a young restaurant worker. The man bit that worker 6 times. You can see some of the wounds there. Right.
Staph infection. Staph.
Chapman spoke to that teenager in downtown Minneapolis for a story you'll see only on WCCO.
The egg rolls and the chicken Vietnamese salad.
19-year-old Jazariah Sheldon has worked at the Lotus since he was 16.
Every day I work here, I don't really think of it as like a job. I've known the family since I was like 13.
What he never expected was to be attacked while taking out the garbage. Video from a store nearby shows the confrontation.
When I walked past him for the first time, he said something along the lines of, "What are you doing here, suburb boy?"
Jazariah says there were several people standing by watching as a man continued to verbally attack him.
There was a lady watching. She watched everything happen. And he looks at the lady and he goes, "Watch what I'm about to do to this B word." And then that's when he starts pushing me up against the window. And then that's when it turned into self-defense.
Jazariah studies jiu-jitsu. He used those skills and what he learned as a high school wrestler to fight back.
Every time I would pick him up and have him in the air,
he was what, like 6'2", so he has a lot of room. He would latch onto my shoulder while I was taking him down, and every time I had him on the ground, he would bite my chest.
Bystanders pulled Jazarius off the attacker, and when he tried to walk away, he kept coming for him. He was bitten 6 times on his shoulder, his back, and his arm.
He got his whole mouth on there.
Got his whole mouth on there, yeah.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the guy, bit off more than he can chew, so.
Lotus co-owner Yum Nguyen says his family has seen the neighborhood change since they opened in 1984.
I think safety is a huge issue here in Minneapolis. People don't tend to come out anymore to go dine out, to go eat, because they don't feel safe. I think that's the biggest thing.
He wants more patrols in the area, but understands why police response is limited.
Yeah, they need more help. The guys are just short-staffed, and there's only so much they can do.
Nguyen hopes neighbors use their power of presence to keep the area safer.
I've always believed if more people came out, more people from the neighborhood, it tends to shoo away the bad people.
With photojournalist Chris Cruz, Rex Chapman, WCCO News.
Police say they are searching for the attacker. We're told he could face felony assault charges.
All right, so that's why you need to train jiu-jitsu. Protect yourself. Gordon Ryan. I'm going to skip Gordon Ryan. Says Advil finally getting into jiu-jitsu. We were just watching ads today. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. You were watching ads today. Get the music on here. Audio. There we go.
Real strength isn't pushing through pain. It's treating it. When there's no pain, there's more gain. Advil targets pain caused by inflammation for fast, strong relief. Advil, that's real strength.
They knew exactly who they were marketing to. We need that. We're going fast. I'm gonna call it quits. 3 hours, guys. Who else doing 3 hours? In the future, I would like to do like maybe 4, 5, 6 hours. I gotta make some money from my channel though. So, please let other people know about this live stream. Make sure you guys go subscribe. We're almost at 1,000. So once I get to 1,000, I can start pushing some numbers over here, bro. We gotta push some. We're pushing some little numbers. We need some big numbers now. We did talk about this. CGI is coming up. You guys know CGI, August 30th through the 31st. If you guys are in Vegas, please go. If you can't go, let's donate some money, bro. I got a couple dollar bills for Mr. Craig Jones over there. Here you go, Craig. Slip this into your tidy whities, Craig. There you go. No worry. Don't worry. Craig is working hard. He's putting time and effort. He's got stage 2 hypertension because of you guys. So let's try to support his show. I'm against UFC. But I am for CGI. They actually care about the athletes. They listen to athletes when they say they want a division or they need more money. They pay athletes to show up there and do their best. They're not calling athletes boring or telling them they need to do anything differently. They just it's on the rule set to make it more exciting, more interesting. You got to incentivize people to take more risk, to go out there. PGF got people out there for $10 blowing their legs out. Not me, but some of you guys out there. One person style jiu-jitsu, does that sound familiar? He asked me to cover some of this. We did talk about the grouping, the coaching, and a lot of that stuff earlier, but we're gonna read some comments real fast. It says top 1% commenter has Daddy Danaher here. Said you'd have to be crazy to bet against this guy. Can you guys see that? Daddy Danaher. I know you guys love Danaher, bro. You guys love you some Danaher. Let me move back. You guys love you some Danaher. Says black belts in BJJ, judo, and sex appeal. Says new wave or autos. Likely new wave because Mika clears most teams other people in every weight class. Mika lost to Dante at ADCC. Jason Whitfield was defending Mika. He's not untouchable in no-gi. Mika has lost in no-gi. Mika, however, has not lost in the gi. You're not going to beat Mika in the gi. He's just too flexible and strong. So it's not like Mika is known to be some kind of giant slayer or anything. I don't see him beating big guys like Felipe Pena or Victor Hugo. If anyone is the giant slayer, it'd be Pato. Nearly impassable guard. Pato doesn't do good against bigger people, though. With the most unorthodox leg locks. Says no one ever mentions that after 4 or 5 matches, some of them pre-grueling with Dante only had 1 match. Oh, I don't know what that means. Dante only had 1 match at ADCC. I believe did he lose his first match? And so he was fighting guys that already had 4 or 5 matches. And we're fighting 2 days. I feel like Mika doesn't match up well against bigger people. He middle heavy. In heavyweight, he does okay, but anything bigger than heavyweight, he doesn't do okay against. And Pato doesn't do good against big people at all. He didn't look super dominant in the last ADCC. Not saying he isn't good, but I don't think he's as much of a dead ringer as everyone is making him out to be. We're at 3 hours, guys. Make sure you're liking this video, bro. I'm talking 3 hours. Who else talking 3 hours about jiu-jitsu? Mikey probably is, but he's not here on this channel. I love Eddie and Tim Planet, but I feel like it might be time for Gio to let go of competing. I believe Gio just turned 40 or 42 or something. They might be able to use a dark horse. Their whatever the sub they have, they might need to use that sub for 66. So they agreed. Was hoping Krikorian would be in the 66 kg spot. Krikorian is underrated, super experienced and resilient. I was about to say something else. Well-rounded, competed with the best for years. Keith very likely couldn't join because he signed with UFC. As far as I know, he's not in the UFC still. Although that might be the case, Tim Planet announced their team first, way before the other teams. Gio was on the team months before UFC BJJ even started. Maybe Keith was one of the first people they signed, though. Keith could probably do 77. I wouldn't be surprised if Gio just wanted to do it and pulled rank. I think he should pull out and have Keith do it. Oh, Keith is Tim Planet. I forgot about that. Just because he has that match with Mikey in about a month after CGI. The Americas team is a joke. What is Greg doing? You guys love Greg Saunders. I said, whatever, man. One of the weakest teams could be a top-tier squad when picking between North and South America. Couldn't find a better heavyweight. For real, where's Roberto? Yeah, where is Roberto? Allegedly didn't want to participate. Says it's weird because he spent a lot of the gi season doing IBJF and publicly complaining about how they don't pay, but doesn't want to do CGI. Craig said that the coaches had the freedom to pick whoever they wanted, but also mentioned that he secured a spot for Pat Downey and he pushed for Taylor Pierman because he felt like he got robbed in Euro trials. Okay. Word is they caught Greg teaching a technique and blackmailed him to get Downey in. I'm sure Greg would have hated to have Mika and Roberto. Maybe elite BJJ athletes prefer not to spend time around people like Greg. That might be true. I could put up with Greg. I mean, they would not put me out there. Even Team Europe looks stronger. Team America and Team Europe don't look very good. And Ferris literally screwed up most of the divisions with his stupid trials. But anyway, it's not like Saunders had much options without Tackett and Roberto. So there's a load of alternatives for Team Americas. Mika, Pato, Fabricio, Hugo, Ardilla, and Pena are all at the event and could have been on the Americas team, but got snapped up elsewhere. There's even like half a dozen U.S. or Brazilian dudes who medaled at ADCC last year who aren't competing, and a bunch of elite ADCC veterans like Kennedy, Mourinho, Gutenberg, JT, etc. I don't know what Greg Saunders. Well, he picked his homeboys. So when Greg Saunders' Team America's team loses, I don't want to hear nothing from you guys. I don't want to hear nothing about Team Standard Jiu-Jitsu. And now, if they have a breakout season, I'm gonna have to shut up. I'm gonna have to quiet myself. He says, hence why I said not much options for Greg. A lot of good guys already got involved in other teams. I understand your point, but Saunders already had ADCC veterans who did as good as all you mentioned, except JT, but he is on a big decline from his prime. JT's still good. Said I would switch Downey and Gutenberg, definitely. I think Downey's got better submissions than Gutenberg. Gutenberg doesn't do no-gi. It's not as if America's team couldn't have got those guys. I mean, Mika was the last guy to get announced for the event after the America's team was set. Honestly, think there's a ton of options. You gonna say there's no options in America? There's a ton of options in America. Like I said, there's a whole team remaining ADCC medalists from Americas who weren't picked. Oh, why did I click on that? I like the guys that they have got apart from Downey, who I haven't seen in BJJ outside of last CGI. Well, he did Nogi Worlds last year, I believe. But all of them seem to be in a weight class higher than they usually compete in, apart from Gavin. In a team format like this, you probably want to make the most of the weight allowances given. Also, I just realized it is the Americas team. I thought it was USA team before, just do the selections. I mean, yeah, if you can pick from America and Mexico, well, it said Americas, right? Corby Bros are good. There's some other people, I would put Shigoli on there. I would put Pat Shigoli on there. He can't make weight. Mason Fowler, we talked about Mason Fowler. He would be a good addition. Keenan, I think Keenan has a few good guys over there at his team. Trying to think of really good Americans. JT's really good. They're saying JT's on decline, but JT still beat most people. I'm trying to think of some other people. Maybe somebody from Fight Sports. They might have some. Put Cyborg on your team. Throw Cyborg on there. Yeah, I would be cheated. I would get Wagner, Cyborg, Achilles Hosha. Wouldn't Achilles Hosha be a good addition? There's some. They got a Big Breakfast. There's some other people they could have chosen, bro. They didn't really look. They looked at who was winning. Listen, just look at ADCC Opens. Who's beating all the ADCC Opens? All right, this guy's really good. That guy's really good. Who did trials? Who did really good? Cole? Okay, let's put Cole on our team. 66. 77, you can keep DeAndre Corby on there. 77, you might need a bigger person than Big Breakfast for 77. I'll put JT, JT good. Did Big Breakfast beat JT? Yeah, I don't know, man. You guys could find somebody good. Whoever. Says, I know LJL is out for AU. What the heck does that mean? Let's see. Is Big Dan's face slowly morphing into Gordon Ryan's? Have we found the ultimate grappler phenotype? Levi Jones-Leary would have made this more exciting for sure. Also pretty excited about this. Someone said, I hate that 10th Planet doesn't stand a chance. Neither does American or Euro Misfits. Yeah, no Mergali or Mika for New Wave. Who did? Who are you talking about? Oh, Big Breakfast beat JT. That's not fair. That's the kids class. That's the kid from kids class beating you when you get older. That happens to everybody. There's some more teams out there. You could bring Andrew Wilty out of retirement. Bring Keenan out of retirement. I would pull Lovato out of nowhere. There's some other good Americans, bro. They're acting like there ain't no Americans. I'm trying to think of somebody. There's some other people out there, bro. What's up, Levi Jones? He only pulls guard and can't stay healthy. My man, Super Levi. Well, all that inversion stuff not good for your back, bro. All that inversion, all that boloing ain't good for your back. They could have had a Meow Brother. They could have had Meow Brother out there. There's some other good Americans they could have had. There's a lot of people they could have had. Well, they had the wild card. They could have pulled anybody. They could have pulled who's really good at submissions. Anybody, really. Just go do some research. You find somebody. Says I'm digging the new Atos logo with the skeleton. Any chance you guys putting out some t-shirts with the team logos on them? My gym, not remotely affiliated with Atos, but I still wear it, the B team and the new wave ones. Eddie has great guys, but I feel like he could have used some younger and more sauced competitors to even out his team. New Wave, Atos, B Team, or Daisy Fresh. Everyone else is there as fodder. So I tried ranking them after that, and it got quite difficult. But those are my top 4. I think it's going to be a good show regardless. It's going to be better than PGF. Sorry, PGF. PGF is good, but the athletes aren't good. I'm sorry, PGF. Man, some of you guys could be on PGF, bro. They ain't had no standards. It says almost certainly new wave. Mika and Giancarlo alone are capable of taking out almost an entire team. Well, Giancarlo depends on which Giancarlo we can get. Said Giancarlo is 2-3 in his last 5. It says the Devil's lightest member took out Giancarlo before, and is also who took out Giancarlo? Fabricio Andre or somebody? Or was it Roberto? Roberto. The lightest member was Pato. Pato beat Giancarlo? It says the Devil's lightest member took out Giancarlo before, and is also someone. Well, Pato beat Dante too. Is also someone who could take out any team. Did Pato beat Giancarlo? Says I think it is. Well, I haven't watched PGF, so I can't give an honest scoring on that. I haven't watched PGF, just from some highlights, so I can't give an honest scoring. Jimenez destroyed Giancarlo. Roberto's hit or miss. Sometimes Roberto's good. He be tearing it up, and then sometimes Roberto be getting torn up. Roberto, he beat up who did Roberto beat? He beat up Ryan Aiken, but Mika Galval took his arm home. So whenever we try to do jiu-jitsu math, it don't really work out. All right, guys, it's been 3 hours. I'm gonna dip. I gotta train and get some food before it's too late. Dorian beat Luke. Yeah, what the heck was going on there? They all super powered. So I'm a dip, guys. We're gonna be on tomorrow. I think. Let me see. I'm flying out tomorrow, so gonna be leaving New Jersey. Let me see when I'm flying out. Let's see. Oh, what's my flight? Tomorrow. Oh, shoot. I don't leave till 7. Oh, we're going to be on tomorrow. Don't worry. We're going to be streaming tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. Don't worry, guys. We're streaming tomorrow. So we'll be on tomorrow. That's basically it, bro. We're going to keep doing the live stream Monday through Friday. I might add more days as we grow. I'll keep you guys updated. We had a lot of stories. You had Claudinho, the guy that passed away. Moneybird. We talked about Moneybird earlier on. And that's it, guys. I'm going to dip. If you want to support the channel, I was about to say inverted gear. Go to BJJ Mental Models. Go to BJJ Mental Models. You can sign up there. Or just tell people about the live stream. That goes a long ways. And that's all I can ask for. So today is Handsome Tuesday. Some of us ain't handsome, so go get some training in. Train for me, train for Ollie, train for Ben Askren. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, God willing. Peace out, people. No more exit video. We ain't got no more exit video. We just stopped the stream.